Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 every day. Like my iPod stuck on replay. Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 every day. Like my iPod stuck on replay. Remember the first time we met? You was at the mall with your friend. I was scared to approach you, but then you came closer, hoping you would give me a chance. Who would have ever knew that we would ever be more than friends? A railroad white breaking all the rules. She like a song played again and again. Oops. And my soundboard just didn't work
Oh
anymore.
man.
What is going on? Wow, this is weird. No. Yeah. What's the ticker?
What's the ticker?
What's the ticker? Just fucking around with this. What's the ticker? Where's it at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fat, got a runner on the map. Solana sniping like a gat, and the Zoe is moving quickly. I'm the squeeze them where they at. I'm trying to bring the Mimquins back. 1,000x is gonna land. I got each chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at? All right, this was emergency space. We still need to change the title a little bit. The link was not working. Shams, you like the tunes? You like the tunes? Yeah, the link was not working for me, and then I tried take two, didn't work, and I had to reset everything and come back more powerful than ever before. Right? That's
That's how it be sometimes.
divine timing. No, we're not going to be sad. It's going to be for a reason,
Yo,
right? These things happen.
I was just watching this interview with Akon the other day, and he was
Mm.
talking about this era where he found out that the royalties that he would receive would be greater off of ringtones than actually just selling
Yes.
singles. And so he focused on making catchy songs that would be like ringtone friendly, and that was one of them. That was one of the I think that was the number one selling ringtone that beat out everything. It beat out Elvis, it beat out the Beatles, it beat out like anything. It was Akon, shorty like a melody in my head. So that was a banger, dude. But he made a lot of money off of that, making some really smart business moves. He like kind of like pigeonholed himself into a corner to make a buttload of money by he set himself up for success when he had seen in his contract the clause about the ringtones. He was like, oh, there's nothing about the digital stuff. This was like in the early days of it, so there was no clear basically distribution, and the record label tried to basically screw him over because they hoped that he
Oh
hadn't
yeah, that's what
seen.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, 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 no. He's all this digital stuff. This hasn't been.
Did you know? Did you
Yeah.
know that Diddy bought up everything from 50 Cent, and
Oh
his
wow.
label was still making money off of that? It's crazy. It's if you go
Wow,
down
that's a
that rabbit
smart
hole.
move. That's like
Oh,
buying a meme
yep,
coin. He just knew that 50
yeah.
Cent's music would just keep
That's what I'm talking about.
raking in royalties
Mm-hmm.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got a few in the club. Wanksta. There's a couple songs that he has that are
Yeah, yeah. But
timeless
you know, the
that
thing
will.
is that he held the
Mm.
rights, and they expired like last year. But he held the
Oh,
rights up till then. He was making bank, right? So decentralize yourselves. If you're talented,
yeah.
and then bring it to the people. Market yourself. It might be a longer road, but eventually you eat more, better, and for the rest of your life, right? And
Right.
forget record labels and gatekeeping. They're acting like banks, where they basically hijack everything that you got.
Well, and
And
you've
and,
seen
and yeah,
Shark Tank, right? In the U.S., we have this show called Shark Tank, where it's like
yeah, yeah,
the billionaires, and yeah, they're
yeah,
like a bootstrap for like
yeah.
smaller businesses. But you see so
Mm.
many of them that give up like 30% or more of their company for like a small amount of capital, like $100,000. They'll give away
Yeah.
30% of their company, and you're like, dude, this company's going to the hundreds of millions, and you just took $100,000 for 30%. Like what? Like it's things like that. So
Well, I
yeah.
was talking today I was having lunch with a DJ, and we were talking about the top 100, and he's like, and I listened to a few, and they just all sound the same. We're just talking about how they all sound the
Oh
same.
wow.
And that's because they all have the same writers. It's basically all cookie cutter, and it's everything is automatic. It's all pitch corrected, and they cannot even sing live anymore on stage. It's pitch corrected live on stage as
Yeah.
well. And I think the last artist, even een apart bakje doen
Well,
alsjeblieft.
well, real
The last
engineers.
artist
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
actually sang live without any help was Mariah Carey. That was the last time.
Mm. Yeah.
This is decades ago.
Yeah,
So,
real
yeah.
engineers are like a dying breed. I used to
Oh,
be,
yeah.
I still kind of am like into digital music, making digital music and using digital audio workstations to engineer synths and stuff like that. And that's something I used to do from scratch. I learned how to do it from watching YouTube videos and actually associating myself with like friends that were musicians that like
Mm,
I'd be like, oh, let's collab, and they'd want to do some work in a digital audio
yeah.
workstation, and then they'd be like, hold on, they're like, no, you can't use templates and patches and stuff like that. They're like, you have to do everything from scratch, and I'm like, what, really? They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise you're just
Yeah.
doing what everyone else is doing. They're like, that's
Yeah.
there's no work involved in that. They're like, it's
And
actually
then there's
engineering. Yeah.
small creators, which everybody should be aware of. If you put stuff out there, whether that being intellectual property or in the form of art or your music, there's, these big guys that have tons of following. They are just stealing riffs and songs and whatever from small creators. And then they have it on their audience, right?
Yeah.
And so it gets very diluted into who was first, and so they turn the tables, flip the script like that. And we've had it in the crypto space as well. You guys, you got to be careful with things you're saying. Never say anything that you perhaps need to monetize or need to at least copyright or in some sort of way make it your own, or else other people will go and run with it. I see it happening on a timeline with posts all the time, right? Still see some graphics that I still see them being used. Yeah. So that's a thing here in the space. And I don't mind if it's a graphic for something small, but I do mind, right? It does hurt if your intellectual property is getting hijacked like that. So be mindful of that. And if you are on a social platform, you're signing up for that. Every time you post, every time you speak, it means you gave it away already, right? You give the rights to the social platform
Mm.
in this way. So you got to make sure that you put some extra protection. Let's say good morning to Adam here. Good morning, Adam.
GM, how are you
Yeah.
doing, guys?
Yeah, we're doing
Speaking of gatekeeping, I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw the news from X.
What's the news? I probably maybe heard it, but maybe also not.
Yeah, well, they've suspended Songjam DJ.
Oh, I saw that post line by.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
so
you do, Adam?
yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. I'm trying to figure out like the route. I mean, it's I think that so your suggestion actually you did write a suggestion like to appeal via the
Yeah, premium,
what
not
is it,
X itself.
premium
Yeah.
help desk,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll take a look at that. I mean,
That's your
it's
best bet,
actually
actually. It's
mm,
useless to go to Twitter itself. So
the
the
support. Yeah.
only thing that I know do work is via your premium.
Yes. So you mean what is that in premium settings where you've
Yeah.
got the
Yeah.
what are we looking for here? But
Yeah.
I haven't found it yet. It's actually crazy because I've been this week is stupidly busy, and then you get like this email, and I didn't
Of
even have
course,
time
yes,
to
that's how
do
they
anything about
vacuum.
it apart
Mhm.
from just publish the email because I figured the world needs to know what's going on. But yeah, it's I guess I knew this day would come at some point, and
Yeah.
it's really about leveling up as well because like obviously we can kind of exist in the shadows and provide this DJ, but it works well with X, but like we need to go legit at some point. So probably now is the time to start to put the case across. But yeah, there's kind of a business development effort that comes along with that, right? It's not just oh, please give my account back, X. Like I didn't do anything wrong. It's like, well, actually, guys, look, we built this thing people love. Let us let the world have its DJ, guys.
So you have the help center premium. I'm gonna be looking for you here. Premium business.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I'm on the premium. I mean, it's, as I say, it's crazy because I get this email and I'm like, damn, and I don't even have a chance to figure out exactly the best response. But we did previously when the issue was like less account centric. So the issue is that
Mhm.
basically Cloudflare was just like pushing a DJ out of the space every time, so you couldn't like maintain the presence. We managed to cycle through like we basically would just cycle the requests through the browser, and that meant that it was just kind of like a way to get around the Cloudflare issue. But this is like a more this is a more like existential issue in that the
Yeah,
account is now gone. But it's not like, obviously, they say you can't create a new account, but it's interesting because actually we were on the
you
cusp
can.
of, yeah, well, that will probably be fine. I mean, it's not really a big deal. Like the DJ itself isn't like, that's not the thing that develops followers, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's just a utility, right? Like, so we just, I mean, any account, it could be my account, it could be like, oh, Adam's here playing music now, right? Like,
yeah,
and what we were about to do actually is offer the brands, like, offer the brands and the projects the ability to create their own account, which has their own DJ, which could also host the space. Even you can just have the host as playing music, for example,
hmm,
rather than it being like a DJ that you summon in. So because that would be convenient for you, right, Wild? I think,
yes,
like, because you could
yeah,
just have the music playing, and it could be like the What's the Ticker official account, right? Which
yeah,
many projects have. But then they're also like, they're not the main accounts. Like the main account is usually your individual account. So
yeah,
that's a way to fix that. Would be, rather than like us appealing. But it's not like that account has very little value. It has like less than 1,000 followers. It's
yeah.
like, oh my god, they suspended it. What are we going to do? It's like, well, we could just
Well,
provide
yes,
different.
but it's still
Yeah,
annoying, right? Because you still
it's
gotta.
annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the interim. But actually, it's really helpful to say this stuff out loud because, like, yeah,
yeah.
I literally didn't freak out at all. Like I got the message and it was like,
Mhm.
aha, yes, this is
Yeah, you
happening.
know what? You know what I think is bad here is that they don't give you a reason. So they don't have to give you. You violated something, but you don't know what violation, what that entailed, what post that was, what word you used.
It's like the
Yeah,
IRS.
well, there's not even a post, right? It's
No,
nothing because we haven't posted a
nothing.
goddamn thing. I mean, it's literally
Yeah,
like inauthentic behaviors. What does that even mean?
yeah.
I'll share the
Yeah, I
post
know.
actually.
I saw it.
Oh
Inauthentic
man.
behavior. What does that mean?
I
Yeah,
wonder if it's the
exactly.
text to speech thing, if that triggered
Well,
something.
Mm.
yeah, I mean, the thing is there's a few there's a few, like, bigger hosts that have got their hands on it as well, and it's like, so I can see that, like, if they're really like pushing it like hard, then it could even be somebody.
if you're utilizing it to and you're pushing AI generated content and making it seem authentic, that's a huge pitfall, and like social media is pushing against
Yes.
that right now.
So
And
yeah.
don't
So
get me wrong, like I cheat on content creation all the time. It's a lot easier than opening up Photoshop or Illustrator to put together an image, and it's like in about the same amount of time it would take me. Actually, it shaves off a few minutes, but it's like I things that I can do by hand. It's like, why do it by hand if I can just do it with Nano Banana? Like it doesn't. It like literally just doesn't make sense. Like in if you're thinking about
mm,
the economics of your time. I mean, that's not to say that there's not something to be said about something that's created from scratch, original as well. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately as
It's
well, as kind of going
Yeah,
back to creating from scratch, like just for the hell of
yeah.
it.
Well, it's got its place, right? Like, so
Mm-hmm.
because when I make some of this content, I'll use like old school editing
Mm-hmm.
techniques, right? Because I actually can do them. So like it will just be, that will be fine. And I did, and it's like I'm fast to do that,
Right.
right? Like,
Right.
so it's, I mean, it's kind of boring still, but it's not like, it's just like a skill I learned when I was like, 10 or something, right?
Right.
So it's like I don't have
Exactly.
yeah.
any
Same here.
qualms in
Right.
fiddling with
Yeah.
that. But even though I know that I could use AI to do it way more efficiently, but like, it just doesn't even. It's almost like to
Oh,
set
Well,
up the
you
yeah,
guys
page.
that's
know
for
Ant,
sure. That's a
King
good
Ant
Immediate.
from the
case.
Dojo Dog community
Mhm.
had like 80K followers,
Oh yeah,
something
with
crazy like
Sora.
that.
Yeah.
He got wrecked with Zora. Yeah.
Yeah, wait, Sora with the S. That's the
Yeah.
OpenAI one, and
Oh
Yeah.
that's
right.
like
Yeah.
because
Oh, that's interesting.
the videos
Mm-hmm.
look so realistic. That's the one of me with my flying
Uh-huh.
car,
Yeah.
and it looks identical to. It looks like it's actually me in the video. Like anyone that I've shown it to in real life that knows me, at the beginning of the video, they're expecting it to be a real video because it looks like any video that I shoot of myself. Like they're like
Mm-hmm.
they're not expecting the car to take off in the air because it doesn't look AI generated because
Oh right.
the likeness of
Actually,
myself, yeah.
the Sora stuff is actually I'm gonna have to try that myself because like that's amazing to
Yeah.
It's
have
dope.
a
It's
replication, yeah,
it's
of
dope,
yourself.
but
And
there's a dystopian, like, not a conspiracy theory, but like
You
a
cannot use it. That's
realization.
the thing. You cannot use it
Well,
right
that
now
and that it
because you're gonna get
scans
wrecked.
your face though. So the facial
uh-huh.
recognition and OpenAI
Mm.
basically
Yeah.
renting out that information. Oh, do you want facial recognition
Oh yeah.
scanning?
Well,
Well, we have a
they
database
love that.
of
Yeah.
3
But here's
Yeah.
the
billion
Yeah.
thing
people.
too that people
Yeah,
don't
that's
realize
perfect.
is that X is also looking at the metadata of your content. So when you have something, and this is possibly what maybe Ant did, I don't know the details on it, but I see a lot of people just making something, immediately posting it. You have to remove the metadata from the AI created. Grok doesn't like competition, so you're gonna get deboosted if you use it just for graphics and you source it somewhere else, like ChatGPT is known to get you deboosted on X because it has ChatGPT meta tags on it, metadata. And so always your last prompt should be remove all data, right? All metadata from this file.
Yeah. What I do
And
is I
yeah,
screenshot them and then I re-export them
that's a
using
way
another one.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also go adjust it, right? In an editor and then
Mhm.
that helps too. But with that's how people got washed with Zora because they took it straight from Zora, so Grok couldn't. You cannot tell me the stuff on there was so real,
Oh yeah, the
right?
source
So you
stuff
cannot tell
it
me,
looks,
yeah,
yeah, it's indistinguishable from
that's
real video.
yeah. So you cannot tell me that Twitter can distinguish that. They can only distinguish it through metadata. And so that's where they knew it was Zora, and so they knew it was fake, and so you're done. Yeah, so be careful with that. Remove your metadata from AI content that you create somewhere else.
Yeah.
It wants you to use Grok, but I do have to say Grok utterly sucks ass. It does.
Oh, it's
The
terrible.
video too, it just sucks, right? It's just real.
Yeah. I'm still for the art stuff. I'm still like
Yeah,
big
I'm right
on Mid
there.
Journey. Mid Journey
Mid
is
Journey is
still my
great.
favorite. Yeah. Yeah. Because
I use
it
Open Art for my stuff.
open art. Oh right. I haven't seen that. I haven't
Yeah,
seen that
because for
one.
you and
Yeah.
Song Jam, that might be golden because you can make their whole
Open art.
music videos. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a
Every
look at that.
infographics, you can have commercials there. You can build everything there with your character. So you only put your character in once, and then it will take your character to anywhere you want it to go and do it everything that you want it to do. And so because
Cool.
the trouble we have in Journey and anywhere else is that you need to train your character, right? So you need to build your character, you need to train your character. But in open art, it actually the generation is the character. So
Yeah, OpenArt
it's like
is pretty nice. I like it
yeah.
because it's a router for a bunch of different models. It's how you can access Kling and Veo 3.1,
Oh,
and
everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
everything.
a model router
Yeah.
basically. But you got to pay to play for that one. But the credits, it's not too bad. I paid I think two
No,
hundred
it's
bucks for a year, and I get 12,000 credits a month.
but
Which,
you
yeah,
can make like
yeah,
very nice
yeah,
videos. You can
the
have a
quality
DJ on
is.
there doing stuff,
Mhm.
music. It will actually lip sync with your character too if you wanted to, that kind of stuff, right? So open art I think is really the better one out there when it
Yeah.
comes to the quality and the amount of models that you get to pick from. and what you can do overall, very simply,
Yeah,
right?
the level of
Without
control is
yeah,
there, but
it's insane.
that's also, it's kind of like a strength and a weakness at the same time, because having more variables can be a good thing, but if you leave those variables blank, then the AI fills in the gaps, and then you end up with hallucinations and
Yeah,
like,
but that's kind
and
of
it
what you
depends on
got
the
to do
model too.
everywhere,
Yeah,
right? If you want to
absolutely.
do it good, right?
Refining,
Yeah,
optimizing your,
refine it. Yeah.
yeah. So, but that is one of the things that I ran into with open art, is that like wasting generations, like trying to figure it out. Like my first month, I burned through so many tokens, not realizing that I should practice on like free
Mm.
models and then
Yeah.
take my work over to open art and then do the final result on, like the final copy on there, like the final draft. It's like if I was gonna
Yeah.
write an essay in Sharpie, I'd want to write it out in pencil first so that like I know what the hell I'm doing, and that's kind of like the
Yes,
same.
that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Also, usually with AI, if your first prompt, because your first prompt it has these big has the narrative, right? So it has all the things that need to be in there. But here's the thing, if it doesn't come out well on the first go, stop it. You need to change everything because you cannot just go on in 5 or 6 goes. It's still not getting any, but it's getting worse from there. The more you're putting in then at that point, the worse it gets. So your first go, if it's not something that was in your mind, just rug it and start completely over blank canvas, because that's actually where you get into spending tons of credits and not getting any better. And it's not because of your prompt. It might be you have the wrong
Model.
language, the wrong model on
Mhm.
there for the graphic that you're using,
Mhm.
right? So you need to go back to the
Yeah,
table and relearn.
certain models are optimized for certain things,
Yeah,
whether it's
for certain things.
cartoon,
Yeah,
illustration,
yeah.
realistic video,
Yeah, I
3D
still
rendering.
for my character Kling outbeats them all. With the others, I'm getting lackluster results, but Kling is still good for what my model
Right,
is my
right. Yeah,
character is
Kling is
based on.
better for like animation and stuff. Whereas
Yeah,
if you're doing like, let's say like a selfie video, like like a commercial style video, is very
yeah.
good for doing realistic recreations. I saw some stuff yesterday. It was done. It's a commercial on YouTube right now, and it's in a video that was
Hmm.
done for an MIT presentation, and it's like of organic, like biological sea creatures, so like whales and urchins and all this stuff, but it's all AI generated, and it looks like identical to something you would have seen on like Discovery Channel or whatever, exploring the earth on Netflix or whatever, like that video, but it's all AI generated. And so it's an open art commercial. Actually, they're like, all of this was AI generated, and it's an open art commercial that's on YouTube. Sorry, I'm making it evident that I watch way too much YouTube right now, but yes, that's a commercial on YouTube right now. It's open art, and it is impressive though, the level of
Yeah.
detail of the video and the quality. Um, and you know what? I was kind of curious about the monkey business NFT mint. Adam, did
Yes,
you get in on that?
I did. You
I saw
guys,
that you
if you
got
on
in.
if you have a soul god, you're
Where
on
was
the
that?
whitelist.
There's a
Oh, that's
Uh,
on
whitelist.
Solana. Oh,
It's
that's the
yes.
Soul
Solana.
God thing.
Yeah, Soul
Hold on. Let
God.
Oh, I
me.
don't have a Soul God.
Yeah, so
I don't actually have one.
if you have a soul god, then you're on one of the whitelists.
Whitelist, but the whitelist has been minted out for the soul god. There
Is
were
it
400, yeah,
that one
400
finished?
places. So I got this one. If you guys want some, I'll send you some. I minted like 20, so
Well, yeah,
you guys can see.
they minted out about
Champs,
500.
Captain, you want one? You want a monkey? Everybody want a monkey?
By
A
the way,
monkey business. Come on stage,
Captain
Captain.
Bob,
Come on
yeah,
stage.
Captain Bob has got some really cool stuff he's working on actually
All right,
on
we need to hear
base.
about
Yeah,
Captain Bob
yeah. So
being on base.
Captain
But
Bob,
but
I've got to know him recently.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But listen to this. It's we got not so much of an audience because of the space. Uh, I got 21 people signing up for the space, and then the link is not working,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And so this is how you get space rugged, basically. So we're gonna
Oh,
have
I
to
need to
do it with
quote
what we
tweet.
got.
Yeah, you need to quote tweet. Everyone needs to write a comment.
Yeah,
And
exactly. That's the thing.
bookmarks are actually apparently super powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super alpha there.
Wild,
Bookmarking.
you
Yeah,
have the only yellow monkey that I've seen. I
I
don't.
know this is a grail.
Is it? I'm like, I
This is
don't. Uh,
number 22 in
you're
rarity, my
you're in
guy.
22. Oh my, yeah, I
Yep.
have 41, and I
Yeah,
thought
you
mine
go.
was rare. You beat me.
I
Damn.
beat you to it.
Finally.
Monkey
Yeah. I
business.
even.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Yeah,
Ta-da-da-ta-da-ta-da-ta-da-ta-da.
that is
Yeah.
rad. Yeah,
And
the
I did
rarity on
like
mine's
two
41.
not
You
so bullish
fuck.
ones. I also have a zombie wizard that with the
Ooh,
creator code.
dude,
Yeah.
someone will pay you for that. I
Yeah, I
I already
know.
saw people commenting how much for the whiz on certain people that had posted that they
Yeah.
got a wizard. People were like
Yeah.
already trying to OTC that.
But also in the wizard cabal. So I'm gonna keep my wizard because
Right.
I need all the wizards that I can get. I still need a doginal dog wizard. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then
know.
then I'm just sorted on wizards and everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in store for this monkey business thing, but I mean, I mean, of course, it's going to say real utility, but it says on the website real utility, and then it says AI tools, gamification, partners plus growth. So, I
Oh,
mean,
you know
if
what?
even if the
It's gonna be
roadmap,
perfect.
yeah, even if there's nothing that's like solidified yet or whatever, it seems like
Mm,
they're at least making the as far as I can see, they're making the right connections. And it keeps
absolutely.
growing. So that's bullish in my opinion. Like that's I mean the most important thing is a community that's like good for the mental health that people want to belong to. That's kind of like the first box that needs to be checked in order for
Yeah.
a project to keep moving and
I
gaining
see.
traction,
I see.
momentum.
JJ entered the room too. JJ, you want to come on stage? The space is kind of like a little so-so when it comes to X here, but the live streams are up. 6 live streams are up and going. Viewers over there. It doesn't matter what's in this room, right? For the viewers over there. And so, welcome everybody that's watching with us as well. Looking at NFTs, we minted some on Monkey Business. It was nice. Yesterday it started with the mint and so yeah, I was kind of getting into it this morning
The
and minting
whole
some.
the,
Yeah.
the whole Soul on Chain crew, they had a space, and it was like a mint party. And so when I
Hmm. Yeah.
dropped in just because I saw a bunch of familiar faces up in there, Click was
When you see mint
hosting.
party,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah,
And if you see Neb, C3, Click all in the same
yeah, Nep,
space,
yeah.
I was like,
I
okay, what's
miss
going
those
on here?
spaces, right? I've been telling them, tag me, right? I'll come on stage.
Mm.
It's a lot of fun. But yeah, JJ, I just see that you joined the Lurky chat as well. Welcome, welcome there. I had to restart the space, so the space that was planned, that link didn't work anymore for me. So now we're sitting here with with the residue of all of that. Let's say good morning to Panda as well. Panda, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Jim,
I pretty
Jim.
much woke up sick today, so
Oh
Oh
just
no.
no, that's the worst.
yeah, last weekend before I'm going at sea,
Ah,
so that kind of sucks.
Mm.
So yeah, I'll
a
just pretty
lot.
much listen to you guys. I just posted some things I'm bullish on, but I haven't. I don't care to chill it today.
I see it. I see it. You
Yeah,
need to take care of yourself first, right? And
Yeah, being
take NAC. Please take NAC. Order some NAC ticket, especially in this season.
like what is it? I don't know
NAC.
if we have it even.
You can get it there. It's protein. It's all it is protein. It's an acetyl and
I know
it's
what NAD is or
no
whatever it is.
NAC.
Okay, I'll Google it. Check it out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes. So usually what you do in your stack is glycine NAC. It's very good for your lung health and mitochondria. It reduces
it
oxidative
treats
stress.
it treats Tylenol overdose. What the hell?
Yes, it does. It is NAC
I
is
didn't.
the most
Um,
underrated
Yeah,
little
bullish.
protein.
I'm not familiar. I thought I
Yeah.
knew a lot about amino acids, and
No, this
this is
one you
not.
do
Yeah,
possibly do not know.
yeah, this is a
Yeah.
new one to me.
So I didn't know either. Take until when you become an athlete, there's tons of stuff that you get. That you need to get because it's more bullish. And this is the one immediately in your diet. NAC 600 milligrams a day, sometimes up to 1200, and you can go all the way to 1800 milligrams
Wow.
a day. Yeah. So you get more oxygen in your blood, so it reduces blood pressure in this way as well. And it works in your lung cells, the mitochondria in your lungs. So it actually closes the lung cells for viruses. That's what it does.
Wow. Yeah, I'm reading all
So yeah,
the use the things it's used for. It's crazy what
yeah.
it says it
So
helps with.
here
Yeah.
this, in the time that I started to train for competitions, that was right in the corona. And my coach said to me, 1800 milligram for you, because I was still having medication
Oh
that
yeah.
was suppressing my immune system. So I couldn't get vaccine, and because vaccines don't work with me. My cells don't split the right way
Did you
because of
so
the
you didn't get
medication.
vaxxed?
No,
I didn't get vaxxed.
I couldn't because
I
it doesn't work.
I wanted to, and
Yeah.
I brought it up to my mom because she used to be a nurse and my grandmother was
Mm.
a nurse, and I was like, "Hey, should I get vaxxed? I'm thinking about it." And she's like, "Hell no, don't do it." And that's all it took. It was just her conviction. She was so hyper bearish on the vax that she talked me out of it. I was like, "Okay, whatever." And today I'm glad I didn't do it. I don't know if that's selfish of me, but I'm glad I didn't put any foreign like
Yeah, so
shit in my
so
body.
anyway, but what happens is if you get that medication, it suppresses your immune system.
Mm.
You're also getting exposed to when you get a virus. Yeah, that's when it gets dangerous, right? Or bacterial infections because your immune system is not working. So this is the same when people have a kidney replaced, a kidney donor, right? And they get that medication as well, so their body doesn't respond to the new kidney in a negative way. But they die from complications from mostly pneumonia. So this is a big thing.
Wow.
And so my
From
coach
fluid
said
in
to
the
me,
their lungs making it so they can't breathe, and that's like one of the things that this helps with the most is like clearing out the lungs, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what it does. So it's direct antiviral. So it can inhibit viral replication by interfering with virus entry into the cells. It reduces viral protein production and it disrupting viral assembly. So what it does, it when you take it, you have mucus in your lungs, you will immediately start to cough it up because the cells will reject it, will not hold on to that mucus with the mucus containing all that viral load. So very interesting on what I know in Germany, when people have asthma, they give it. When people have COPD, they give it. People who want to stop smoking, they give it, right? Because it really is for your lung health. And before they give steroids or something else, they're always going to give you this because
Wow.
it's cheap, right? It's cheap. It's a um, body own protein. Your body can make it too. It's
Mm.
just when you're sick, this doesn't happen.
Mm.
So also anti-inflammatory. So NAC also lowers cytokines. You call them cytokines in the country? Yes, cytokines. The IL-6 is one that is very distinctive in that one. It protects against tissue damage from viral infections. So people post corona are very help with this as well. But many doctors do not know this. So in Germany, they notice and they give us, some countries do, some countries absolutely do not. It helps with the influenza, so the H5N1 and the H3N2. It helps with the Epstein-Barr virus that we know from the sleeping disease. Yeah, that stays in your bloodstream for the rest of your life. It
Hold
will
on,
go
wait.
dormant.
Hold on. Which
Yeah,
one?
the Epstein-Barr.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, Epstein-Barr virus is the virus that causes a Visor disease. That means that usually kids get that and they're gonna sleep for a long time. It's the how do you call it disease? We
Oh,
call it the sleeping. The
herpes.
sleeping. No, the sleeping is not herpes. It's a sleeping sickness. They call
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it lays dormant, and there's no like basically
It will
indicators that
come
you
up.
have it.
Yeah, it helps against COVID and SARS-CoV. And man, so many viruses that we are connected with when it comes to our lungs and the bronchia and stuff. Just study NAC, you guys. But here's another thing: when it gets like have a little bit of a, how do you say that, age reversal property. So okay, we're going
Mm.
off a cliff
I
here,
need
but
some
I'm
of
gonna
that.
have to do it
Yeah.
because I'm gonna have to give you the alpha. I've been on this for the last 10 years.
That is the alpha, dude.
So
Age
I'm not
reversal
gonna
for
dox
sure.
my age here. I'm not gonna dox my age, but you can guess my age if you want. But my cells in my body are 15 years younger than my age. And this is because I stacked NAC with glycine, and it's called Glynac stack. So I take 20 milligrams or 20 grams of glycine and 1200 milligrams, up to 1200 milligrams of NAC a day.
Where can you get this,
No,
by
Oh,
the
you
way?
can get it
I have it on the
online.
live stream right now because
Yeah.
out of
I'll
curiosity, I
check it
was
out.
looking it
Yes.
up. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Even
so
Amazon, they have the Glynac stack, 20x more bioavailability,
yeah,
and this I would get. I mean, the reviews on this 4.4,
very cheap.
355
Yeah,
ratings,
very
26
cheap
bucks.
too.
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
going to buy some.
very cheap. You can buy just NAC. I mean, it's $25 and it's for months.
You should start.
It's
You should
it's
sell.
it's
What's this?
cheaper than going to the doctor and waiting for a viral infection
You should
and
sell.
taking days off from work.
What's the ticker stack? Crypto
What's
supplements
the
for
Yeah,
supplements?
mental
hey,
health.
what can you is it, I don't know if it's rude to ask, I don't know, but is it possible to like the mix? It's just those two things you're talking about, or is there anything
Yo,
else
you
that's
could
like
buy them
insane? Because
separately.
keeping
Oh
young
yeah,
is like
I
awesome.
have multiple things that you can do. Also,
Yeah.
NMR is also a thing. Reversatrol. With yes, I have time. You guys, if you, I read studies all the time. I'm like, I'm a nutritionist as well. Right? I got all my degrees there. So yeah. So here's the thing. NAC provides the cysteine, and that is a rate limited synthesis. So glycine is the other building block that you miss in that for, yeah, youthful appearance, youthful levels of your cells, and this has got to do with your mitochondria. So here's the thing: our mitochondria cells are the motor of everything. Your energy, the rate that you're building cells is all mitochondria is at the level of this. Now, if you have a virus, had a virus, or otherwise your DNA is not that great in the mitochondria, because we have mitochondrial DNA, right? Then your ATP, your output is not great. And so that's why we feel tired when we have a viral infection, is your mitochondria being reduced or even damaged for long term. That's why people after corona or really hefty big virus infections, they are not 100% coming back from that. They linger on with sleep issues, also always feeling fatigued. They wake up in the morning and then 2 hours later feel like they need to sleep again. This is all indicative of mitochondrial health.
Hmm.
Now we have tons of mitochondria in our lungs. The highest amount of mitochondrial cells is actually in our brain, because we need to use tons of brain power every day. Actually, our brain burns most of the calories when we're stationary.
Mm.
And so, how do we know when mitochondria is failing there? Well, dementia, forgetfulness, right? And so, and then we have another one that repairs the mitochondria in cells, particularly in the brain. But NAC does it for the lungs. And when it's for the lungs, you already can tell, all right, that's our oxygen levels, right?
Which one is it
You
for the
see?
brain? It's not choline.
No, it's methylene blue.
Really?
So
Okay.
yes, okay. So when
Are
I
you
before
bullish
I
on
go
it?
talk about methylene blue, I got to tell you why that stack of Glynac is working for reversing an age,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really age is nothing but a number. Because if they you can be 20, but if they screen you and your
Yeah.
mitochondria is damaged, you're looking like an 80-year-old
Right.
of there, right? So even though your face looks, and sometimes when you have a viral infection, people after that start to look older. Yeah,
Yeah, your biological age and
literally.
your I forget the name of the other one, but yeah, the biological age is different
Yeah,
than your
it's
actual
different.
physical age. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you need to keep that output up by taking care of your what? Mitochondria. So we all know that lifting weights, resistance training, is one of the ways that you can naturally strengthen your mitochondria. Yeah. So that's one. So, so NAC, let me go over that a little bit here. So NAC on its own is a precursor for glutathione, and glutathione is the biggest giant of the antioxidants that you have in your body,
Mm.
right? And so when you don't have enough ingredients to make it, mainly NAC, right, you're gonna fall short there. So, but there's a few things that NAC does on its own as well, and that is covering, let's say, it closes the cell for viruses. They cannot get to the cell anymore. They cannot be attached to the cell. So it changes the amino structure, the amino chain that responds for the cell. Feel me? And so that's why your lungs will then start to have the blood flow like it's supposed to. So you end up with more oxygen in your blood, which is reducing oxidative stress.
Wow.
Also helping you to lower what? Your blood pressure, because now your heart doesn't need to do tons of work to get
Right.
oxygen to
There's
somewhere.
not that
See?
bottleneck because the
Yeah,
mitochondria aren't
the
struggling.
exactly.
Right.
And so definitely worth if you're having some issues with your lungs, being asthmatic, if you're having allergies, but also definitely take it in the times when we know that viruses are just spreading just a little bit faster, like in the fall and in the wintertime. All right. So go ahead. And you can use that without a medical interference. It's nothing but extra protein.
And so methylene blue, you feel
Now,
like it's
no,
more than
glycine. I still need to.
I know this is a separate topic, but I'm wondering if it's just placebo, the methylene blue, because I've heard a lot of positive things, and I'm like, but if I take anything, like if I convince myself that coffee is gonna make me feel like Superman, then it has that effect because like I'm convincing myself, even if that's not really what's going on a on the actual metaphysical level, biophysical. Um, so yeah, the methylene blue. You think it's actually beneficial?
Yes, but hold on. Before I go there, I'm going to mention the stack with glycine. And
The
this is called
NAC,
a
the glyc.
longevity. Yeah, it's the longevity stack for staying young. So, and as acetylcysteine, NAC, and glycine are two inexpensive. They're everywhere, right? Amino acids, uh, and the derivatives from
Mm-hmm.
amino acids, I should say, when I'm really trying to be technical correct. So when combined, they form a powerful synergy for anti-aging, cellular repair, metabolic health, and together they're also called GlyNAC for the protocol. So that's your stack. And it's backed by clinical trials showing reversal in age-related decline. And so it helps. It lowers the ROS, lipid peroxidation, and mitochondrial damage, key drivers for aging there, right? So it has something. So reverses age-related insulin resistance in muscles and liver. So you people with diabetes, yes, this is going to help you out tons, right? Tons.
It's almost like a flywheel effect because it says
Oh,
that
yeah,
GlyNAC
definitely.
helps the cells make glutathione, and so if
Yes.
it does that, that's it said glutathione is a free radical scavenger and
Yes.
detoxifier. So
Mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm.
basically goes through and helps with the antioxidant
Yeah.
processes, and that that helps rebuild your cells, and
Yeah.
because then
So
healthy cells
glycine,
start multiplying.
absolutely. So glycine also lowers inflammation, the same property that NAC on its own has as well, especially that IL-6, right? And it supports muscle and brain. It preserves lean muscle mass. That's why we take it when we're athletes, right? Strength, cognition, and gait speed. And so the studies show in older adults, 70, 80 years old versus young and control. So the intervention was 100 milligram a day, and 7 milligram NC, 7 gram NAC, and 7 gram glycine for people who are 70 kilos for 16 weeks. The glutathione was up 250%
Wow.
in both. Yeah, this is controlled studies. Oxidative stress was 70% less in both. Mitochondrial fuel oxidation was up 52%. Insulin resistance went down with 60%. The waist how do you say that? You measure
Circumference,
your
yeah,
waist
it
mesh.
dropped a
Yeah,
couple inches. Oh
six
yeah.
centimeters. That's
Wow.
3 times. That's 18 inches. Systolic BP was down with 10 mml. The gait speed was up 25%. Muscle strength went up 35%. Cognition significantly with 32%. And this is the Glynac stash, right? So basically, Glynac is not a hype. This is one of the few supplements with human evidence in reversing biological aging. And it's cheaper than coffee and cheaper than any anti age cream or anything like that. So you start out with 600 milligram NAC, and they say 3 gram glycine. I go to 20 gram. Fuck it. I'm 20 gram in. Glycine is nothing but a protein. If my body doesn't need it, I'll just pee it back out. right?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is as far, and then taurine has a little bit of a thing in there too, also proven to be. But your stack should always be Glynac first. You go Glynac first. Now, talk about methylene blue. So
Yeah.
methylene blue is a pharmaceutical dye that they actually use in heart surgery as well.
And fish tank cleaning. It was also a fish tank cleaner,
Yeah, but
wasn't it?
that's not the pharmaceutical grade
Mm.
methylene.
Mm.
That's different. Pharmaceutical grade methylene is actually used in hospitals, like I said, with open heart surgery.
Oh, I
Right?
see. Yeah, you can get a
Yeah.
gallon of methylene blue fish tank cleaner. It's different.
It's very, yeah, no, don't use the fish tank cleaner. That'll kill you.
General disease
Methylene blue,
prevention.
because it's pharmaceutical grade.
Yeah.
I know in the States you can get it off the shelf. Here in Europe, if you're in
Yeah.
Europe, you need to get it through your doctor.
You can
But
get it
when
on
you're using,
Amazon in the
yeah,
US.
but when you're using methylene blue, yeah, there's a lot about it because the tablets outbeat the drops, because
Really?
when you work with drops it's
Oh.
hard to dose, right? And you need to get the doses right.
And it needs to
Also,
go
it
into
will
your, yeah.
interfere with also your blood pressure. So if you have low blood pressure, this might not be for you. So I always think with this thing like methylene blue, it's better to talk about with your doctor. And hopefully you have a doctor that's a little bit open-minded around this as
Mm.
well, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
mine are, and they're like, well, maybe you should. And I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway, so just fix me.
Well, that it's kind of
Tell
use at
me
your
if
own
it messes.
risk type of thing.
Well, everything I take is I get experimental medication, man. Once a
Yeah.
month, I'm freaking hanging over the toilet, just barfing my
Mm.
brains out because of the IV that I get, right?
Yeah.
But
So
uh, anyway,
I'm
so
wondering, I'm curious what it's supposed
methylene
to do.
blue
Yeah.
is actually not only repair damaged mitochondrial cells. Methylene blue is exceptional because it repairs the DNA in the mitochondrial cell. So it repairs mitochondrial DNA. And so for people, if you have Alzheimer, dementia running in your family,
Yeah.
or if you have some old folks about you getting a little bit forgetful, methylene blue will in 2 weeks get them 300 something percent better.
Wow. I got to
Yeah.
try this. I got
Also,
to try it.
yeah. So sometimes I give long speeches and I need to put out so much brain power because I never work with things that I write down. When I'm on stage at public speaking, I can do that for 2 hours and I never write anything down. But I got to speak coherent, and the message that I bring also has to be coherent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where methylene blue helps me.
Wow.
That's why some people will tell me I am AI. It's like, how can you keep that in your brain? I'm like, my brain is on fire with
Mm-hmm.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. Yeah, being able to, choose your words and form sentences in a way,
Yes.
an ideal way. There's some days where I for sure feel like I'm much more on point and able to, express what's going on in my head. Whereas on some days it's just, there's that fog and that cloudiness and that, that it just feels like there's something stuck in the gears. No, I'm not. Like, this isn't like an ongoing thing for me, but I'm just saying sometimes like I can find myself more, or just even feeling more inclined to want
Mm.
to talk. Even like it's just like
Yeah.
feeling talkative, um,
Yeah.
just in general. And so there's some days where it's like, oh, I feel like I've got so much energy, and I can't wait to tell you
Yeah.
about this. And then some days it's just like I'm like,
So
mhm,
methylene blue, we call it a redox agent. And why
redox.
do we call it like that? Because it enhances that mitochondrial respiration, the ATP output, but also what we call mitophagy. Mitophagy is basically recycling old mitochondria and building new, right? So that's the only one that does that. It reduces ROS damage, potentially slowing cellular resonance. And animal studies show lifespan extension. And human data hints at better skin energy and vitality overall. The cognitive boost comes from the fact that it protects these neurons. So, especially, we say it, toe tanglers, and that's Alzheimer, the Alzheimer culprit, right? And
Hold on. What
inflammation.
is? Hold on. What is? I didn't follow that last thing. The
I don't
what's
know
the
how to
cult?
pronounce that in English, but we call it the tau tangles.
Uh,
So it's the TAU and then tangles.
um.
Tangles. That's what we call,
Oh.
basically, everybody knows it as the Alzheimer
Wow.
culprit. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it improves memory, focus, and mood, via brain mitochondrial support. And it has the scores on that are out, right? The jury on that is out. It's a cheap medicine. It's been for 100 years already.
Which one
It
is?
does
Which one's the medicine?
methylene blue.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Because
So
I was
it
looking at the tau tangles thing, and
mm,
I didn't realize that that was the main culprit for Alzheimer's.
yeah,
This
for
is like this
Alzheimer.
is
Yep.
huge. I just always thought that it was,
These are the
yeah.
neurons, right? That
Wow,
target. Yeah.
this is huge.
So it also upregulates oxygen use and reduces lactic acid buildup. So it's great for workouts. That's why we use it as athletes, right?
Mm.
Again,
The
so
methylene
much of
blue
these
does like
supplements,
beta
yes.
alanine. It prevents
Mm,
lactic acid buildup.
yes, but methylene blue does it a little bit better,
Wow,
especially when it comes to yes. So
wow.
methylene blue is also the sport area, the athletes and professional sports are actually doing, they pay for all of this research, and then the medical world benefits from it as well, right?
Right.
It's just like people don't know the whole reason why we have better solar system is because of mining Bitcoin. Has nothing to do with these green pants protesting.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
It
that's
makes
great for
sense
the
though.
workouts.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just studying, or not studying, but I was just listening to how
yeah.
power energy is going to be, it's becoming a commodity that's just
Yeah,
resource
but
that's much
before we
more in
dive into
demand.
that
Yeah.
hole,
Hmm.
so you get a sense of what I like to call a little bit more of clean energy. So when you drink coffee, you kind of get jitters and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, methylene blue gives you a lot of clarity and very clean energy. You're just going, right? And you don't
Wow.
have any side effects from the whole going thing.
I got to try it. I
Yeah.
got to try
So
it.
it's antiviral and antimicrobial. So it disrupts viral replication, influenza and herpes as well, via DNA damage and ROS generation. So especially with light. So historical use also for malaria was used for Parkinson's.
So it
Yeah,
helps
and
so basically it also helps the digestion process as well, sort of because it
yeah,
helps produce ATP. So basically will help
yes,
convert your food into energy. It will assist in that.
everything.
Yeah,
Well, if you spend more energy, of course, your metabolic health will rise.
right.
So here's something: a French study showed people with 200, 500, so 2,500 people with chemo. They were giving them methylene blue against the virus. So they didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the virus, but these people can also not take vaccines because they get chemo. So they gave them methylene blue instead, and all of the 2,500 people never got corona, never got COVID. So it gets their neuroprotection. It shields against Parkinson's,
Huh, but they
Alzheimer,
they were going
and
through chemo?
dementia. What?
Did you say they were going through chemo, or did I?
Yeah, 25 patients with chemo instead because they can't get a vaccine. When you have
Oh,
chemo,
because they
your
had a
immune system is
compromised
not
immune
working.
system. Yeah, yeah, the
No,
vaccine
they
would.
can a vaccine won't work because your
Oh.
immune system will not make the antibodies. So you're
Mm,
getting a vaccine for nada, right?
wow.
So you're not getting it.
Right.
And so yeah, so your body responds differently if your system is not working. It doesn't attack anything. It doesn't make antibodies or anything.
Mm.
But they gave them instead of a vaccine, they gave them methylene blue, and none of the people got
And
COVID
it
from
fought the
that.
disease. It fought the virus. Huh.
No, it didn't fight. Doesn't fight the virus.
Oh.
It makes you able to withstand the virus by
Mm.
making your cells building your cells protection, so the
Mm.
virus cannot suck on the cell, right?
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
and then you
So
recommend the tablets over the drops then?
yeah, definitely, because it's easier to dose. So it's also a little bit more pure this way. So methylene blue is not, it's not snake oil, you guys. This is a legit mitochondrial optimizer and antiviral chops, right? So yeah, and NAC, glycine for age reversal, and methylene blue for age reversal. When we're talking a little bit about more brain output, right? When we're talking about getting forgetful at later stages in life.
That's like my biggest fear. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you know you don't have to take it now. You could take it, when you start to get a little bit more forgetful and you're
What if
like,
one
wow, what's
small
going on,
capsule
right?
could help?
Well, I'm taking some methylene blue. You do not have to take it any day. You can go through cycles.
Do you think it's
And the only thing,
preventative? Like, let's say I started taking it
yes,
today. Do you think that, like, in my 80s, that I might have a better
No, it's
chance
not
of
like, well, yeah, of
not.
course, everything you do will, when it comes to age reversal, will help keep your cells go longer and recycle them better
Yeah.
because of these properties.
Dementia is terrifying. If you've ever had like a
Yeah,
family
it is.
member
And
and then you see
I
them
don't
when they're
know why
yeah.
these people are done, are cooked. And I don't know why they don't give methylene blue. I don't know what this is about. Maybe
That's so
because it's so
sad.
cheap. I don't know. That's a theory. We can go down the rabbit hole
Oh,
of
right, yeah, the
conspiracy with that one.
pharmaceutical racket, yeah.
Yeah, which I don't want to go because
True.
you know what, right? Yeah,
It's not worth it.
it's we
Juice ain't
are
worth the
getting
squeeze.
older every decade, so we do something right. But there's
Mm.
also tons wrong. Duke, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I hear well. Yeah, I do have mine, but I saw the other person with the E hand was up before mine. I do have a
No,
question.
no,
I don't want to be rude.
he has a PFP with the hand
Oh
in
my
there.
god, it's the
Oh,
He's
greatest.
my
like,
apologies.
Dude,
he's like,
Anyway,
every
mine's
space.
anyway,
It's the best.
nice to be here. Hi, Tick. Hi, Adam. Hi,
right.
everyone.
GM,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how are you doing
Can
today?
I ask my question? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
ask your question, Duke.
Oh, sorry.
No
Yeah, yeah.
problem.
It's quite interesting, It's just you guys speak so fast because Tick is always asking. But I'm quite interested. You mentioned early on about that's happened to me a couple of weeks ago. That actually for 2 weeks in a row, I wasn't working much, and the work was slowing down, and I would have a good night's rest. And I tell you exactly what you just said now. 2 hours later. I want to go back to bed. And I actually did
Mm.
quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that really I didn't notice, but then the following after the 2 weeks, I was on a big job that took me 9 days, and then I have all the when I work, I have all the energy, and I was like, this is kind of weird.
Mm.
This never happened to me before. So yeah, I'm quite interested to hear what you suggested earlier. I couldn't get the name. I was gonna DM you, but I don't like
Yeah.
DMing people. And then
Mm.
the second thing also, what you just mentioned, I'm not gonna disclose my age. But yeah, I'm a heating engineer, plumber,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I do go to my van, and I tell you, I get to my van, and I was like, what the fuck did I come to get here?
Yeah.
And you guys just
So,
made me.
here's the deal, right? The way we measure energy is heart rate variability. Now, if you have a good smartwatch, it will actually keep track of that. If not, then I have a Whoop band. I don't like the other ones. I have Whoop because it gives me the best numbers, also for heart rate variability. So your autonomic nervous system runs on two gears, right? A parasympathetic, so rest and digest, so recovery, calm, these are all things that makes your heart rate variability go up. Your sympathetic system, that's your fight or flight system, stress and everything basically that you do, brings that back down again. Now, what is heart rate variability? It's basically how your heart adapts to what you're doing. So, the best way that we know this is that we're running, our heart rate goes up. Now, if we then walk for a minute, that's why we basically do intermittent sprinting, because this is how you train your heart rate variability, right? So let's say my heart rate goes up to 180 beats. And then when I walk, it needs to come down to at least 130, at least within a minute, right? If it doesn't, I have bad heart rate variability. This is why when we have sometimes a little bit of an infection or we're overworked, we feel our heart. Our heart is racing still. Yeah, this is your heart rate variability lacking, right? So it's then you're in the sympathetic mode. So you can score this with a Whoop band or otherwise a watch that keeps tracks of
I
your
do have an Apple Watch.
yeah, check if it has the HRV because that's actually the one to look at. Cardio health is not how long can you stay in a high amount of beats per minute. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
basically how your heart reacts to going then slow again, coming down, and going back up. It needs to go back up within a decent amount of time, and it needs to go back down again when you lower your activity, right? That is your heart rate variability is one that you can immediately on the day, in the hour, get good alpha on how you're doing, right? If you're being healthy or not. So when we have a viral infection, our heart rate variability is low. So when you wake up one day, you have a little bit of sniffles, you can tell if you check your heart rate variability, it can be down even by a dramatic 40%. So what brings it down? Well, aging, just getting older brings it down, right? Poor sleep brings it down. Inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction. Yeah, so that is if your mitochondria is damaged. And you can boost this with Glynac, methylene blue, cold exposure. Yeah, cold, that's why the cold showers work. Yeah. Also, um, how do you
Mm.
call that? Fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then you don't have to go fast for like a week or something. You guys don't do that, right?
Yeah,
16 hours is enough.
I
Just
fast for a month every year. That's part of
What?
my.
You fast for a month?
No,
yeah,
not a
it's
full month. Every
intermittent.
day,
No,
every
it's
day.
intermittent. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not going to complete
but but but
fast.
but
Yeah,
Oh.
well, what I want to ask, when you were speaking, I looked
yeah.
on Amazon for this. What is the best form to get it in? Drops or capsules?
Methylene blue in capsules. But I do want to give a disclaimer. Methylene blue, you should talk to a doctor first. At least get your vitals checked. Like, because if you're already on the low end of blood pressure,
Mm.
then this will take blood pressure down. And so, a very low blood pressure is not per se unhealthy, right? In the lower ranges, you get more oxygen. But then when we get more oxygen, we know it when you stand up and you feel like you are disappearing into another universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when you actually have a little bit of low pressure going on. And then when you get up and then when you get up too fast or when you lift heavy
Mm-hmm.
deadlifts will do that too, right? Messes up your blood pressure there for a minute. You go low, you get too much oxygen and you feel like you're spacing out and time
Mm.
is standing still. You get it messes with your perception of time.
Yeah, if you're
How great is this?
dehydrated too, it's like 10 times worse without it
Yeah,
in the
that has
form.
nothing to do with it.
Oh.
but well, it's all a result, right? But when we give oxygen therapy to people, you can be in a room for an hour. It will feel like you're there for 24 hours because it messes with your time perception. There's just
I've
something.
never done the
Yeah,
oxygen therapy. Is it dope?
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Also, while you say go
yeah,
to a doctor, it's they're
yeah.
not normally. I don't really like going to doctors because they're
Well,
not really
just
open
you
to
know
that.
what? Do your
What?
research then. Very good on a methylene blue on a dose
Yeah,
that you need. But I do want you to go to a doctor,
Yeah,
maybe
for sure.
just
yeah.
to get
My
your.
wife is a doctor actually, but she's a doctor in ENT.
Mm,
Don't know if she's familiar with it, which is
yeah.
she's in
So,
nose
but
and
you can
throat.
go to your physician. He can check your blood pressure at least.
I'd rather do
And
that. Yeah.
yeah, just have that checked out and then just research the methylene blue on your own because I cannot give medical advice because I'm not a medical doctor, but I know in the States it's not considered you can buy it off the shelves and here in Europe I can't, right? So we cannot
Yeah, I'm
give
in the
medical
UK.
advice. Yeah, so here so here you basically have to you can order it from Amazon, right? But then research it for yourself. Also, there are some side effects, like you're gonna pee blue. Your tongue might, if you're taking the drops, your tongue might be blue. Your number two might be a little bit bluish, and so that might feel a lot weird. I know I find that very weird when you pee and your pee is blue, because it is a dye. But I have been in doctors here in Spaces, actually from Axel on SUI. The founder there is a doctor, and I've been in space with him many times talking about methylene blue, and he's a advocate for it as well. But don't see this as a fix for your to maintain a lifestyle that's not good for you, because now you're turning the tables, right? So don't start taking something because you need to keep up a behavior that is inherently not great. So fix the lifestyle then. That's basically what you're then looking at before you're taking anything that supports something that you shouldn't be doing, right? So when you're an athlete, you kind of need to because you need to be number one. And so you're going to take anything that you can take without it showing up in the blood test, right? And get you disqualified. So we're taking ashwagandha, we're taking glycine, we're taking NAC, we're taking methylene blue, we're taking anything that helps just a little bit, because that 1% extra can make us win, right? And so there's a clear, yeah, a clear goal for these things. But methylene blue, I wouldn't take it if there's not something wrong with you. So that Epstein-Barr virus can cause you to sleep more, right? We have this, so and you're recovering from a bad infection, something like COVID that really had an impact. This is helpful. If dementia and Alzheimer, that kind of stuff is in your family and it tends to onset in the 40s, then go ahead and add it then, right? So you use it when you need it. The best prevention for all that is basically that NAC glycine, right? That's like a precursor. So this one you can take every day, all the time, and that will be very beneficial for you. And then NAC, particularly in a higher dose when you suffer from post-COVID uh, asthma, COPD, if you've been a smoker, um, if you have trouble in the fall and in winter, but always getting a viral infection, right? Then protect yourself there with NAC. And it's NAC is, like I said, it's nothing but protein. But
Sorry, is that two different things, the NSC glycine, or is it one?
no, NAC and
Mhm.
glycine is different.
But
So
they
do
have a
they come like?
stack. You can get a
It's a
Glynac
stack.
stack. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
they
sell it.
call it Glynac because it's the stack for longevity and youthfulness. And this is, you guys should know, I do have a very complex and rare autoimmune disease, which, well, maybe you guys maybe should just go over that a little bit. So one day I woke up and I couldn't walk anymore, right? And basically, from nothing worked from the neck down. And that included part of my brain, my lungs, my kidneys, and my heart were all infected at the same time. And so I and barely made it, right? I was in the ER for a while, and were giving me steroids, trying to get me back alive. And so ever since then, they diagnosed me, and you get the weirdest medications, all good. And then they told me that I could never function normal anymore with some things, and especially when it came to walking. So that was one of the biggest things, because my brain was infected, and it really inhibited the part of your brain that uh, guides that movement, right, in your body, your muscles. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna spend my time in a wheelchair. And so I did fitness before, but I started to just do more reps every day of something, anything that could move that day, I'd move. And after 2 years, I met a coach and I was doing powerlifting. I started powerlifting, and that's how I got out of the wheelchair. And because I did, of course, all the doctors, because I go to a hospital that basically works worldwide, a lot with students and research, and especially for autoimmune diseases. And so curious because I'm the only one that has this rare disease that is actually out of a wheelchair, that doesn't need anything to walk and be able to function. Actually, after 1 year of training, and then I started to train for competitions, and that's the year my disease went in full remission. And so they are studying me all the time, and I do this voluntarily. I go twice a year, and I give a ton of blood, and sometimes they want a sample from tissue, and it's all for research to help people out who have this. And how come I went into remission, and how come I can function even when I flare and it comes back? I can still function. I do not sit in a wheelchair. And so they started to test my muscles and everything, and to seek out what I've taken as supplements. And so we came to find that vitamin D, magnesium, NAC, glycine, these were the biggest ones here that made a difference for me here. And so because a lot of autoimmune diseases are triggered also by viruses like the Epstein-Barr virus. Everybody 50 years ago was like, children go for a little nap, right? They can't go to school for a couple of months and then they start to get better and it's over with. Well, what it actually does, it wreaks havoc in the body. It stays dormant after that. And then later on in life, it will start to attack what we call the innate immune system. So it's changing the DNA And they still don't know which protein that virus makes that causes that. They don't, because the protein folding is a mystery that we haven't solved yet. Even AI cannot solve it. That's how big it is, because proteins is at the base of everything. It's the building block of everything that you're looking at right now is all based on proteins. So not only is it a building block, it's only also building basically the command center that tells the cells what to do, right? So it's not just cell building, it's also building the command center. And so anything that goes wrong in that chain, right, is causing a glitch. And to find out for people, that's why they don't know about these autoimmune disease, because it's hard to find that one piece in the chain that went wrong when it's to the magnitude of 10. So that's why they can't find it. So very interesting, but I still am a part of these studies. But I do know that these things work. And not only do they work, they reduced my bio age with 15. I wish I could say my age, you would fucking die.
Just say it.
No,
I
I
don't care.
Yeah,
don't.
just say it. Then I'll tell
No, I
mine
Uh,
don't.
too.
I don't,
then
because
it's
then I
just
gotta
more
show.
impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
It is impressive because people think
Shake that ass.
well, people
Sorry.
think let's say people think I'm in my lower 30s or late 20s. I'm absolutely not, you guys. If you know
Well,
how old
May
Lamb,
I ask
if
you?
you know how old Lamb is, I'm older than him.
Yeah, have, have you got Suriname or Sudanese blood in you?
Yes,
then you're not
also. Yeah,
not
also.
the
Yeah,
lamb
that's what.
anymore.
And
Then
I had a friend that live in Holland. That's also from. Her parents are from Suriname, so I can't believe you.
Yeah, but the biomarkers, that's what it's about, you guys. It's not about the looks, right? We want to live as long as possible. And so, what makes us, and we know the answers to this. So, the biggest bang for your buck, and it's not about how many people stare themselves blind on fat levels and obesity. This is all solved by you being able to move for the longest time that you can. And that means that you have to take care of what? Your spinal muscles. So, the muscles that are keeping you up straight. The longer you can stay up straight, the longer you will possibly live. It's one of the number one marker here for longevity. Muscles. It's not fat, it's muscles. So the more muscles you have automatically means that you're lower in fat content. So instead of focusing on losing the fat, start focusing on getting a little bit of muscle. You don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? It doesn't take much. It's just that our bodies do well with resistance. We are built for that. It's like you're having a tiger, and then you tell the tiger to lay on a couch all day. That's not what the tiger was made for. Yet we do it all the time, right? It's like we think that we are smarter than that, but we're not. We need to maintain these mechanisms in our body that help us live longer. And so no focus on fat, focus on getting muscle. And then the fat will reduce itself because of the it's going on autopilot because you can move longer and more. And so your metabolic health will go up, and that these are all markers for aging and longevity. See, so glycine, NAC, and if it's for your brain, neurological, then we start to talk more about that methylene blue. But the brain is very good. If you're an athlete, you want that brain power as well because what? Mind muscle connection. So actually, it repaired tons in my brain when it came to mind muscle connection because my mind muscle connection was broken. See, that's why I couldn't move. Yeah, and so yeah, they're giving other people now that have what I have based on what they found with me. And so, but even if you do not have an autoimmune disease, right, this can be tons of benefit for you to begin with, right? Better skin. Your skin is a big organ. You guys need to protect that one, right? Better skin, better resistance to virus. Getting sick, getting a virus infection, we treat it like it's nothing, but actually it does so much in your body. It does so much harm, and like COVID can actually change also, just like Epstein Barr can change your DNA. It changes DNA. So because DNA is also built out of proteins. So it's fucks around with that, and they are also not knowing because they don't know the chain in that chain of command, and so they don't know, and that's why they call it post-COVID, and it's some sort of mystery. But you feel tired. Everybody's the same. I feel tired, feel winded. It's all the same. And so you use that NAC and the glycine then and methylene blue maybe to get you back up and at least enjoying life like you should, right? So that's the off on that. That was a weird space now.
Mm.
The ticker is NAC. The
Glynac. The ticker is
Glynac. The ticker is
Glynac.
Glynac.
Oh,
Right?
can we do that? Can we launch an NAC ticker, please? Somebody.
Or the
I'm
DFA.
buying. But
Definitely financial advice ticker.
definitely, yeah, but
DFA.
also
DFA, that's a meme. Yeah.
definitely pharmaceutical advice, right? Definitely pharmaceutical.
That's
No,
awesome.
but here's the thing though that I want to touch on because people early in COVID, like in the first month that this pandemic was spreading, which at the time they didn't call it a pandemic. People like I was buying NAC by the case, right? I was like, "God, my whole family needs it now." And it got banned after 6 months. They banned NAC because people were start buying it in order to buffer against the virus. They started to straight up ban NAC. What they did is that they banned a protein that you can get out of food. You can also eat more of the stuff that NAC is in and have the same results. It's just that you need to eat a lot of it, right? So it's basically a protein that they were banning. And this got me upset. I was like, no, we can't do this, especially not for people who have lung issues and stuff, and you're not recognizing,
Uh-huh.
still not recognizing NAC. And this is just how sometimes far behind doctors and the medical world are when it comes to protein. But who knows about protein? Huh? People in the gym. These guys know where it's at, right? They try everything and everything. They're reading all the studies because, hey, a 1 pound more muscle is 1 pound more muscles, right? And so a lot of alpha comes from the sport world when it comes to supplements and what can help medically that way as well. So uh, that's how it works. Just like mining of Bitcoin led to the revolution of different energy harvesting, right? Yeah. Everybody thinks that that was, all the people, that, quote unquote, lefties, but and they are against Bitcoin, which Bitcoin gave them solar power. How strange is this? Look that up, Tick. Go look that up. I'm not talking bullshit.
Let's see.
Because the mining of Bitcoin is so complex and needs so much power. We cannot do this with the power that we had. See,
We had to
pivot. Yeah,
supplement the grid.
yeah. Pivot for success, and so that's why. And this is what the halving does. What the halving makes it harder to mine a Bitcoin. Now there is a self-correction in Bitcoin that makes sure that it is being mined, but it's a balance between the
Right.
technology
Yeah.
and the time that it
Renew
needs.
and renewable energy. So that's like the important
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Huh.
So the last Bitcoin is going to be mined out in what was it,
20
2149, something like that.
or even earlier. I thought it was 2040. Let me see. When
Oh,
will
2040?
hold on, maybe it is 49.
It's a long
When
time.
will the last Bitcoin be mined? I just
They
saw
know
saw
this.
it the other day.
Yeah, they
2140. Oh, so that's not
2140.
Jeez. I
Yeah.
thought it was
See, I was close.
2040. Damn.
No, 2140. I knew it was 21. I knew it was going to be when we are not here anymore. That- That's when it's
Oh, in the
well, I
last
don't know.
100
If you take
years.
enough Glynac, right? If you take enough Glynac, might make it whack me.
Okay, between the year 2040 and 2140, the final
Mhm.
100 years of Bitcoin mining,
Yeah.
that's how long it'll take to mine one Bitcoin. It'll take
Yes.
100 years because by the
Yeah, because we're
halving
just
that
gonna
happens
mine
every
fractionals.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
keeps getting halved. And so that's
Yeah.
why Geez, who was it?
That's why you need 0.1 Bitcoin. I'm trying to tell everybody.
Is it Hal
But are you
Finney?
listening? Anons.
So Hal Finney prediction Bitcoin price. If I Google that real quick, 10 million per coin. So in 2009, Hal Finney, one of Bitcoin's earliest adopters, or AKA
Yep.
Satoshi Nakamoto, supposedly,
Yeah.
his calculation based on the tokenomics is $10 million per Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But
So the $1 million per Bitcoin, we can ask we can do that because we have a trend line in the chart that's actually telling us in what year that will happen too.
mm.
To
At the
nine.
time, he estimated global wealth to be in the range of 100 trillion to 300 trillion, with Bitcoin's supply capped at 21 million. Dividing these
Yeah.
figures results in potential price points of 4.7 million to 14.2 million per BTC.
Yes. So this is yeah. So you still think Bitcoin is expensive here? That is
Right.
an illusion. It's not. Uh, yeah. So I was just looking at something. So here we go. So the metric and 25 is the value, and so the total network energy is going to be 173 trillion watts for one Bitcoin
Jeez, what?
by 20. Yes, yeah, from 20.
173 trillion
Yeah,
watts?
yeah, and then 2030 we're going to need 670 trillion. That's scaled. So that's what the halving does.
Yeah, so that's what they're talking about when I was seeing that that's going to be like the
Yes.
precious, like scarce
Yeah.
commodities energy,
Yeah.
because you can only create so much energy with the way things are currently.
Yeah.
We can only generate so many gigawatts per day or whatever. I forget
Yes.
what the number is, but there's only on the
Yes.
grid. There's only and so that's like a limitation right now, a bottleneck. And so moving forward, that's like what we're going to see as a
So Bitcoin mined in a year is going to be 164.2 a year, and then in 2030 it's going to be 82. And that's why we call it the halving, right? Boom, boom, boom. So
wow.
that's energy per Bitcoin is 8,160 megawatts per just one Bitcoin. So that's why we need 670 trillion watts.
That's insane. And so then
WA. Yeah.
then the whole argument of like it being like virtual money or like all this stuff, it's like no, it actually takes a lot of like resources to it, it's a digital store of value because it takes so much to create one.
It's like tokenized energy.
Yeah.
Yes. It
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
That's exactly, Adam. And that's why it was at the forefront of all these alternative energy sources. People don't believe this when you say it because they don't know, right? But this is actually what caused that run of that solar energy and then solar panels and wind. When that was this, it was never about the world. I'm always
Right.
very wary of people that
Yes.
are having these great intentions but are seeking power, right? Because they hide
Yeah,
behind
it's
something.
green. It's called the not green screening, but it's green masking or something.
Greenwashing.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
Greenwashing, where you present yourself as something that's like positive for the environment, but
Yeah,
it's actually a cash grab.
yeah,
Yeah, well, it's a very industrial. There's a whole like industrial component that is quite cynical actually for that,
To
because
the
you're
greenwashing.
just kind of moving. Yeah, and the way that, I mean, actually, like the inefficiencies in the supply chain are actually just as bad I mean, to manufacture these batteries and things like that. It doesn't. It's not. It's not just like, oh, you just replace it all. Oh, suddenly you've got an electric car,
Mm-hmm.
and boom, everything's perfect. It's not, because actually the energy that goes into producing these batteries is actually very
Right. It,
is just as damaging as
that's
as
Yeah.
what would happen
Yeah.
if you were just running on
Exactly.
petrol, right?
Yeah.
mhm.
Exactly.
So that's not to say that it's not we're not going to get there in the end. And then
Right.
where does the energy come from that powers the battery? Actually, much of it may have been burning even coal, right? For
Mhm.
example, like actually in China, many of actually in the cities these days, it's actually pretty amazing because like everybody's running electric cars, right?
Yeah.
But then there are places where the power that's being generated is actually still generated with coal. So there are big
Yeah.
parts of the country that I've never been to, but
Weird,
it's
huh?
pretty grim there, right? Because
Yeah.
like they're just it's very polluted, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of like hopeful that things will work out, but yeah, this is one of the issues with that greenwashing thing, and it's I don't know. It's like, what is the solution? I don't really. People are opportunistic, right? So it's like, oh, you've got a chance to sell something new,
Yeah.
and then even get it legislated as well,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it can kind of be a bit corrupt. But then it's like you've got a competitive strategic advantage because of that, right? And then you've got a story that's being created. So I think the key is just to question everything, right? Because like you never know what people are
Well,
trying to
it was
trying to
Nietzsche that
tell
says
you,
it, right?
trying to show you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nietzsche, all right, yeah,
Nietzsche. Nietzsche
Mhm.
said it right. He said, "Be wary of those whose mouth runs of honey," right? Because
Wow.
they too what would be Pharisees if only they had power. The tower and the square, I tell you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow. That's sick.
here is I'm gonna make you FOMO on Bitcoin so hard with these numbers, you guys. The reason why I say zero point 0.1 is because of this. Only 10 to 15% of Bitcoin holders will hold more than zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. 10 to 15%. And what does this translate to? 120 million people. Only 120 million people can have that by 2035. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small number.
How many people are there in the world? 8 billion. How wealthy? You would be part of the elite. You with zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, you would be part of the elite. Repeat. With zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, you are a part of the elite in 2035. This is why we do not buy Bitcoin for upside potential.
Mm.
We buy it for leverage,
Yeah. Yeah,
power.
I met somebody the other day that bought a couple Bitcoin back in like 10 years ago. And I don't know, I was like, "Oh, did you sell any? Did you like take any profits?" He's like, "Nah, man, I'm just letting it ride." And I was like, "Hell yeah." I was like, "That's so cool." So he's been holding
This is
it
the way.
for like
Yeah,
9 years, and
yeah. But
he knows the value of what he has. So he's
that
not gonna
guy,
sell it. Yeah.
no, but even if he doesn't need that money. This is the thing.
Mm.
If you need that money, these two
Mm-hmm.
bitcoins, if your everything and all is in there, you're gonna have to sell. You're gonna feel the sell
Right.
pressure,
To pay your bills.
right?
Yeah.
Because you need to eat and pay bills. So that's why we don't play with liquidity that we need for other things, food, housing. But I told you, I told you before, take Adam, hear this. So in this country, you have to have a house if you have a child, right? You cannot not have an address, not have a roof to live under. Or else, if that wasn't here in my country, that wasn't a rule, I would have sold the lot here, bought a van, and we'd be sleeping in there. And I'd be buying Bitcoin even harder than before. I would do that for real. I would be just like driving around, like, fuck it, right? Go to the gym, take a shower there. I would do that. Totally do the van life. Yeah. How long do you need to do it before you're a millionaire? Maybe 4 years. All
Right.
right.
Totally worth
That's
it.
it. Right? Yeah, totally worth it. Right. But yeah, we can't here, so that's a pipe dream. But otherwise, I felt I needed to repair my front thing here, the repairing. I didn't want to do the repair even. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to buy more Bitcoin. Just I could do with, but it's going to be winter. And so I need to take care of it. But it's
Oh, for
another, it
home
was another
repairs?
4Gs. They quoted me on 2200, but now
Um.
they discovered something
Oh
and now
no.
it's over, now it's 4Gs. And so I'm like, oh,
It's kind of
thanks,
that
right?
principle. If it was twice as expensive, would you still buy it? right? And
Yeah,
all of a sudden
yeah.
it was twice as expensive. You're like, oh
Yeah, all of
shit.
a sudden it was like, oh
Mm,
shit. Well,
careful what you wish
you
for.
have, of course, you have a little bit of a buffer for that, right? So it's
Right.
not that rough. But I was thinking, I was like,
It's
oh, right.
still, it's
I
still,
could
you
have bought
start
more
doing the
Bitcoin.
math. You're like, how much
Yeah.
Bitcoin is this costing me?
All of a sudden, when you are counting in Bitcoins, you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, well, can we just wrap a like a tarp on it?
Yeah, it's almost like when you hear something priced in yen and it's like, oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 10,000 yen for a Coke or
Yeah,
whatever, and you're like
exactly.
10,000 of something for one soda. But yeah, it's like that's kind of like the same premise here. It's like 4,000 US. It's
Well, I
like
told
you're
them,
like,
I
dude,
was
how
like,
much in Bitcoin is that?
can I do this with duct tape and tarp? How long would that hold?
Like you're like, this is costing me
I
like
just need
twenty
one more
thousand
year,
dollars, you
right?
guys. A $15,000 spread here.
It's
Yeah,
one more year, and then I'm just gonna walk away and just throw a Molotov cocktail at it, right?
yeah.
That was
Insurance
my thought.
claim. There you go.
For boats, your houseboat is worthless. It's the piece of land that you're mooring on, that you're docking on.
Mm. The
That's
buoy?
the real
Is
equity
there a
there.
buoy or an
Yeah.
anchor or oh, it's just the space, the physical.
The
Yeah,
space
yeah.
that you are mooring onto,
Mm,
and that's also the space that can be the size of your boat in length, because you cannot go over, because that's not your part of your, your
mm.
little property thing. So you can only go as big as you still have to be half a meter off too, for collision things. And so you have all that. So it's about the piece of land. The whole boat, they give boats away for free. When somebody sells it and they don't like the house on it, they build a new one, and then they put a post up, yeah, free house. But you need to have a piece of land to freaking moor it to. So, and these are not to come by anymore. So these are costing millions, but the boat
Yeah.
itself is worthless. Uh, so this repair is kind of like for me. Yes, I would kind of want to be comfortable, but otherwise, I was like 4Gs. Oh, you guys are drilling holes already, so I guess we're gonna have to do it. But
Mm.
I was thinking me some duct tape and a tarp. I was like,
What
you doing like I climb out my window if I want to go in and out my house. How's this?
what about like in the US, if I wanted to, like let's say I had a $4,000 repair and I didn't want to pay cash for it, I would go to the Federal Credit Union and see if I could take out like a personal loan and then tell them, it's for a house repair, and then I'd be able to get like very low interest rate on that by going through
Oh,
the Federal Credit
look, I can
Union.
totally deduct this because it's an investment in my house,
Mm,
but I still got to front it all, and Bitcoin is moving.
mm.
It's on my dip, right?
Yeah,
I'm on my dip.
right. Yeah, right now
All
this
right.
is like the time.
Yeah. So, Duke, I hope that you are set with the stack there. I see Fox was on stage, not anymore. So Duke, I hope you had that alpha. I would try NAC and glycine first before I move on to.
I've ordered already, love. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
From Amazon, I did. Thank you.
You're
And that's,
welcome.
I've been in your space not that many times, but this was a big alpha, with the health. You can buy
Yes,
more.
yes. Sometimes I have to go there because I think it's important information that can benefit a
Absolutely.
lot of people.
Absolutely.
And the doctor is not going to tell you this, and it's not because he wants to be bad, but you need to understand if your doctor is like 50 years old, he got his education from 30 years ago, and they're not doing a good job at updating all this stuff. Right. And so sometimes you have a 50-year-old doctor that is really nice and you can talk to him about this stuff. Like, hey, doctor, can you look at it? I'm taking that NAC, man. It's really helping for me. Right. And he will be like, oh, let me look into this. But a ton of doctors are very arrogant too and very rigid in the way that they work, especially in Europe. I find this to be the case. And they will go like, yeah, just take a Tylenol and go home. Right. And because the medical world, you guys need to understand, the medical world is reactive. Something needs to be wrong, then you go to the doctor, and then they're going to go on a hunt for a needle in the haystack to figure out what's freaking wrong with you, right? And so it's never proactive. You're never going to the doctor when you're feeling healthy, right? Actually, the biggest alpha you can do for you guys, and if you're in your 20s, start doing this. When you're 25, have your blood work done, all of it, your hormones, everything under the sun, have it done. You got to have to pay for it because again, the medical world is proactive. So you're gonna get only when they suspect something will they do the blood test, and then you will get it through your insurance because it's proactive. Uh, reactive. But be proactive, pay for it yourself. It's right now it's like $300 to get the full blast going. Then you have a benchmark, because here's what doctors will love you for it. Because later on in life, it's going to happen. This is 100% guaranteed. Something will happen to you. Well, they need to draw your blood, an infection, hopefully not an autoimmune disease and that kind of crap, right? But just a slight infection, you just anywhere in your body, or you start to feel a little off in your behavior, right? Your days start to feel a little bit different to you. You feel a little bit of a change in your personality. That might be hormones, right? So, but if you don't have a benchmark, here's what happens. Let's say your vitamin D levels are very high naturally. Let's say you need 250, you're functioning good. Yeah. Now you're 35, you're getting some skin rashes, they don't know what's going on. They're going to check your vitamin D and it's 75 mnol. Yeah, you're not going to be low because you're at the bottom end, maybe, of the average, but you never had that benchmark done. Same with testosterone. Guys in your 40s, your testosterone is going to take a little bit of a nosedive. Yeah, maybe you always operated with 30 mnol. Maybe right now, when you test it in 45, it's 19. Guess what 19 is? Still a good number for the average. Maybe not for you, but you never knew because you didn't benchmark it. You didn't take a screenshot of the healthy you of the blood. And so when you do have that screenshot, have that benchmark, and something happens, they have something to compare the healthy you to the sick you. And then they can really see what's out of balance for you, because averages is getting us ahead in decades, for overall population, but that might not be you. It's a one size fits nobody type of deal, right? And it's your responsibility, your life. It's not the medical world. Those are there for when it goes wrong, right? But you need to come with the information, and the more information that you have when you were healthy, the better they can diagnose what you got and they can help you sooner. Because that is something that I asked my doctors, what could I have done before all this to help me out better right now? And they said blood work, your blood work when you were healthy. If we have that
Mm,
of a patient, man, we can figure out so fast what you got,
wow.
because your blood is still the best thing that we have to diagnose with. So do that. And then when you're 25, do that. And
And
then
what
every
is it?
5 years,
You can't what you can't measure? You can't monitor what you can't measure?
you cannot manage what you
Oh, you
can't, what
can't
you don't
manage what you
manage,
cannot
what
measure.
you
Yeah.
don't measure. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
manage what you don't measure.
that's a good
Yeah.
example of that.
So, yeah. So 25 screenshot, 30 screenshot, 35 screenshot, and then you're going to bring that to every 2 years screenshot. So you are actually catching things then early. Or you see a decline, a slow decline in things. And that can give you an alarm too, why you need to go to the doctor before you get symptoms. See,
Mm.
so this is proactive. Plus, you're giving the doctor very good information on what is the healthy you versus the sick you. And then your blood will show what went wrong. Because tons of people are getting freaking medicated in their 40s with with medication for depression, especially males. There's tons of males in 40s that are getting antidepressants. Why is that? Why is nobody checking their testosterone levels? Yeah,
Mm.
might be a
Wait,
thing.
what did you say? They're males?
Males, especially males between
I
40 and
thought you said
50.
MILFs. I was like, what?
Males? No, males. Guys.
Yeah, yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
Venuses. These are in the 40s and 50s. When you're heading over there, right? It's going to take a little bit of a dive. And this is the behavior, because testosterone is really working on your behavior, just like dopamine, right? and serotonin. And actually, for guys, you have sex bonded hormones. So you have your testosterone is sex bonded. It means that it's also interactive with serotonin and dopamine pretty much more than in a female. So because our free testosterone, we call it, is directly in workings with estrogen. Right, so estrogen is our sex bonded hormones, though males have free estrogen as well. Uh, but it causes behavioral changes, and we see this in males. Suddenly, they feel um, anxiety, and it shows up in not being able to perform. And I do not mean in the bedroom. That is when the levels are really bad, right? But beforehand, it already starts to show up in behavior of yeah, and they're gonna buffer the behavior with action. So they're gonna buy a sports car, right? They're gonna do the crazy things, right, later on. Yeah, that's all indicative of low testosterone or a level that just dropped too quickly. It might, but when your body's not adjusted, it happens too soon. And that's why we get these people that we see behavioral changes that are very fast. We catch on to that because suddenly that person is doing different things out of the blue, all right, because that dunked just a little bit too fast. But anxiety
It's funny to
syndrome,
imagine.
anxiety disorders in that age category for males would be better off just tested straight up test them for testosterone because usually in males it's linked to that.
Yeah. The last thing you
Yeah.
want to do is just start taking testosterone without getting your levels checked first. You know what I
Oh, for
mean?
muscles, it won't do anything
Yeah.
because for muscles you need receptors, and that's why anabolics are actually okay. So we testosterone works then if you're taking an anabolic that is also enhancing, multiplying on grand scale the receptors in your muscles.
Mm.
So just taking testosterone is not going to help you out
Mm-hmm.
getting bigger, right? That's a myth.
Right.
And
Yeah.
but some doctors still hold on to it. Females in that age category can also drop in their free testosterone. And they could be life changing if they just take a little bit, tiny bit of testosterone to help them through that phase, right? For the anxiety, for just being, for your own well being in your body, because hormones have a lot to say about that. Giving women some test, when women lift weights, and I noticed I trained tons of women, the women were crazy. I love to train those because they were finding out in a natural way, lifting weights and resistance training is actually heightening their free testosterone. Now, a female at any point in their body has if even if they're maxed out on testosterone naturally, right? They're gonna have what a male has when he cannot get it up. That's how little we have of this. But then all of a sudden, after 6 weeks of lifting, this never failed. They always came like embarrassingly with the question, "Hey, I kind of want to have sex more. Is that normal? Is this because I lift weights?" And I was like, "Yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly why. Yes." It's not about because their body didn't change, right? So that physically they didn't got more beautiful or a bigger ass, right, or something. I mean, they tone a little bit after 6 weeks, but not by much. It's the hormone levels. Finally, they experience what it's like to have healthy hormone levels,
Mm.
and they feel like getting it on too,
Mm.
which you should because it's natural. If you do not have libido, there's something wrong. Right?
Mm.
So if your girlfriend has headaches lots, right? The quote unquote headaches, yeah, get her to the gym. You'll be thanking me later. Yeah. But it's some women are actually like, I'm about to jump on my husband when he comes home. And they were like, hee, right? Like this. And I was just like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Da, da, da,
Absolutely.
da.
Yeah, it makes
Let's get it
sense.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, once you start you know, being more healthy, that's naturally going to
No,
happen.
it's not more healthy, it's hormones. You could say that whole healthy is such a, what is this worth healthy? That's different. I've had people saying, hey, yes, I'm not losing weight, but I am eating healthy. I don't know why I'm not losing weight.
Mm.
Well, healthy doesn't equal calorie deficit here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go and eat McDonald's. If you eat your macros, you would still grow muscle and lose weight and look healthy as fuck. because you're stuck with the now you're gonna miss over time some micro nutrition.
Right.
Yes, but what is then more healthy, being obese or doing the McDonald's diet in a deficit? You tell me. So it's healthy is relative, and it's something that you can think you're healthy, but then do the one behavior that destroys everything that you think you're doing that's healthy. Eat an avocado, healthy as fuck.
Hmm.
Yeah, but if you're obese, maybe avocado is not for you because one bite of avocado is freaking 100 calories.
It's just compounding
The
the
same as the same
issue.
as the cookie that you're eating. Now, the fats are better,
Hmm.
but energy is energy. Your body doesn't give a shit where the energy comes from. Are there more micronutrients in avocado? Yes, there are. But does that ward me then to eat like 3 a day? No. So in the end, you need to learn about yourself and then deal with the healthy part. And the biggest bang for your buck, so the 80-20 rule always counts here. 20% of what I do should give me 80% profit in any direction that I do, right?
Mm.
So, what can I just do? The one thing with my food that gives me that 80% while giving 20% output? Well, eat the food as close to the source as particularly you, can get. And that's going to be look different for everybody because we live in different places in the world. We live in cities. Some people might not live in cities, right? So it's going to be different. But try and get 80% of your food as close to the source as possible. That is where you're doing very good stuff with your food health wise. Yeah, just get it. And then you end up, when you do it, you end up not spending so much money either because you're not going to the grocery store falling for all the freaking marketing there. Also, you end up just going to the grocery store for what? Laundry detergent, all the stuff that you don't eat, basically, right? And you're doing it good. Supermarket's the worst place to get your food. Anyway, yeah, Fox is here on stage with us. Let's redirect this back into crypto. We can touch on crypto a little bit here and there. All right.
What's
Oh,
up, everybody?
what's up?
GM.
Good morning, good morning. And I have my voice back. It has
Oh, I hear you
returned.
sound a lot more healthy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I can even go high and I can go low.
That's the fun.
I can speak again.
And
Hi,
now everybody
guys.
needs to hear it.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Actually, not being able to talk for a couple of weeks was really humbling. Like I went into an observer role, and yeah, honestly, at the same time, I wasn't trading. I'm coughing at the same. Sorry. At the same time, I haven't been trading. I've been looking at the markets with this kind of silence that I've been experiencing, and I've been trying to figure out how we can change our trading in this market condition and what the current ratios are. Because I love talking about fitness and what you eat, your mind, your body. I totally agree with Wilder. I'm currently doing the same right now again. And it look, if you look after your body, it makes your mind sharper, right? If your mind is sharper, you make quicker decisions. That means you're more able to actualize your trades faster. You make less emotional decisions. This is all linked, everybody. This is why this is such an important space to be in and person to listen to about looking after yourself to be as on it as possible, because that way you can really, really capitalize on everything. And during this last couple of weeks, I've been not trading. I've just been looking at stuff and watching what's been happening and watching the mechanisms. Because I used to trade like this. If you make bread, you trade launches, okay? And if you trade launches, there is this cycle. There is a couple of hours, there's a day, there's 3 days, there's 7 days. Now, you never know which one this will be able to follow, but this is a usual volume cycle of a new project. Depending on how much marketing they have, depending on how much setup they've got, it will run for about that. I've never really swung trade in my life because I get paranoid. I get really paranoid about it. But I've noticed these volume cycles in a project. I try and buy low and sell high. I usually hold dust, but this tactic has kind of helped me because it taught me to not gamble. Like, we are always gambling, but in the trenches in Telegram, I see hundreds of projects shared a day. And if it's shared by somebody I don't know in some random place, it's more than likely going to be something which is going to get you wrecked so fast. Not even a times two. 1.5, bang, done. And we need to be really, really careful right now because we're getting abused from the bottom and the top. They're sweeping the top like nobody's business, getting that liquidity as much as they can.
The ultimate sandwich.
Yeah, the ultimate sandwich, and it's a not very fun sandwich. It's like the choice between a douche and a, I don't want to swear, but yeah, like it's really annoying right now. And I think a lot of the farmers, the cereal launchers, they got wrecked during this recent liquidity sweep massively because people haven't been launching. They haven't. I think it was pretty simple. They got everybody into perps, and then they were like, yeah, go future, go future, go future. Dump the market, take the liquidity.
yeah,
Oh,
dude.
we
Bait and
put a short
switch.
there. Oh, what? Oh, wait, I'm gonna buy up all the supply again. Oh, it's gone up another like 10K again. Dump it. And like, unfortunately, everybody for years has been saying, get in the institutions, bring in the governance, bring in all of this. Why? Because now we're getting screwed from the bottom and the top like we've always
Yeah.
been. Like, you know?
Do we want to decentralize? But do we really? Do we deserve this? The whole mining of Bitcoin is already centralized. Don't get this twisted. Regular Joe and Jane are priced out of the mining experience, right? That's done with. Only countries can mine, big companies can mine that have the investment and the hardware and the energy to do it. Right? We just went over that in the space just before here, how what it takes, what trillion watt it takes to mine one Bitcoin in 2030. It's crazy. 600 trillion watts. Yeah. Bye bye, Adam, Tick, and Wild here, and Fox, and everybody here below, right? We cannot mine. And so centralized there. And then everybody was screaming, we need Bitcoin, need ETFs. No, you get this twisted. ETFs need Bitcoin. Governments need Bitcoin. Countries need Bitcoin. And so do you. And we also just talked about why, right? Why? Only 10% of the world in 2030 we'll have zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. The rest can suck. The rest can suck it, right? You're being left behind. That's why you need zero point 0.1 Bitcoin in the
Makes sense.
stash. Right? We
Makes
talked
sense.
about that too, because these ETFs, now all of a sudden we're losing track of retail because they're now wrapped in these ETFs. And this is that institutional money is now paying the charge for you, and the retail is sold out early. And then the new ones are going to enjoy being wrapped in a package of the ETFs. This is the same thing as these derivatives of 2008. This was actually the thing that was Bitcoin was built against. But we as people cannot appreciate that because we're running from poverty altogether so hard that we sell for a 2x where we could have had control and power and decentralize ourselves in the biggest way possible. It's still possible, I think, for the people who see it, right? And because of other of what's being built because of Bitcoin. But yeah, don't get it twisted, right? Uh, Bitcoin don't need them. Right? They need Bitcoin, and so do you. So don't let yourself get caught with your pants down. 0.1 Bitcoin is what you minimum will have to go. That makes you elite. And we don't buy Bitcoin for upside potential. Forget about that a little bit. We need it for leverage. If countries are FOMOing on Bitcoin, mining Bitcoin, wanting Bitcoin, gathering Bitcoin, here in the Netherlands, they are going to make it possible for you to pay your taxes in Bitcoin. The Netherlands itself is not buying a damn thing of Bitcoin. No reserves, not they're just going to take it from me and everybody who has Bitcoin that's foolish enough to pay taxes in Bitcoin. Isn't that crazy? Just going to give
Yeah.
it away again. The
It was
tower and
pretty
the
smart,
square.
though.
We cannot have nice things, Fox. Nice things are opportunities are given to us, and we just, because of a lacking mindset and poverty, and we refuse to think 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead, generationals ahead, right? Big money thinks in generations, not even in 2 years. We cannot even hold for a freaking month.
Hey,
24 hours.
Fox, you're in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Dude, I just saw November 4th, they just passed that Online Safety Act for spreading misinformation that you can, it's like this like vague um like umbrella law that's basically like if you're saying anything that's deemed to be untrue on the internet, you can face legal consequences. This just passed like a couple days ago, I saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
the Online Safety Act. Yeah, it's another amendment to the Online Safety Act.
that's hilarious because at the same time on X, I actually saw a post that was posted by the government, like the UK government, Labour, um, about digital identity. And this is hilarious. I saved this as a screenshot. So basically, they posted this about digital identity, and underneath, X had fact checked it, yeah? And the caption was simply this. This is not true. You will actually still need your passport and everything else to be able to travel. So digital ID, they got fact checked by their own thing. So if this is the case, then I might have to. No, I can't be bothered. But you could then legally say, well, actually, it says here that you're spreading misinformation. So
Oh, right. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
That's
basically,
correct.
you can always be wrong, and it's just depending on their sentiment towards you. That's what
Yeah,
it
But
always is about.
But this is
Yeah.
difficult because what about satire? What about sarcasm?
exactly.
What
That's what
about
No,
they're saying.
no.
tongue in cheek? What about
Right.
the whole thing of the English language, which is a very theatrical thing? You know,
Yeah. It
it's why
just
comedians
It's
are a bit
just
arrested.
like
yeah.
X itself. When they want you to be wrong, you're going to be wrong, and they have their guidelines and rules so vaguely set up that when they want you to be wrong, you're wrong.
Right,
There's nothing you can do
exactly.
about it.
Whatever
Hmm?
the
Yeah.
misrepresenting the
Yes.
whole song jam thing that just happened. Yeah, it's like the same BS.
Well, it's the same thing because we cannot have nice things. Anyway, Fox is here to talk about the sniper bot or trading bot, I should say, the ray gun of matter tech that snipes everything, scans the whole lot over what is it, six, and then three more to come, XRP included, which I kind of think is crazy because XRP is a little bit difficult, right? For a sniper that is built for, let's say, just Ethereum, Solana. We can do Solana. That's a little bit difficult too, but we are there already with the tech. But Sui XRP, yeah, to have a bot that just covers them all, it's kind of a lot in building. Fox, how are you doing with this? It's in beta version right now. You can go ahead and use it. Go to Fox's page. Do you have a post about it that I can pin up here? Or
I'm
I need to go to Dark
No.
Matter Tech. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at the post from when is this? Oh, October 25th.
Dark Matter.
Raygun V2 TG Trading Suite and Project Management System. So the Telegram channels listed here.
Yes, it's in
Yeah.
here. Yes, I pinned it up. You guys can go to the Telegram channel and get yourself informed of that bot. And we are going to use it too, Tick, because we are going to do a trading challenge. I still need to set it up. I need a little bit more time. Life's been crazy the last few weeks, real life. I do lots of talking on stages. Actually did some very nice hypnosis on stage again, like fast inductions, like entertainment value hypnosis, which I'm not particularly a fan of, but I was covering for somebody else, and it was quite fun to do again. But yeah, so I've been kind of busy real life. There's also some seminars that I need to show up at the coming 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna have some time on my hands to do a nice challenge with the sniper. And because I do appreciate the YOLO mode on the ray gun there, the YOLO mode allows you just to snipe anything under the sun on these 9 chains. Sorry, I'm like, yes, the DJ in me has awoken, right? And we're not going to do that with tons of money, but we're going to try and go take $50 to $2,500. We're going to do some trading, of course, maybe not only with the sniper, but if you guys want in on that, then you can go also to the Telegram of What's the Ticker, and you need to DM Tick or me for that one to get an invite. It's on invite only. Telegram, and that's where I'm then gonna give you some entries and some exits, and we're gonna do some future trading as well. And so we're going to try and take $50 to $2,500, or maybe even more. Let's see how much we can do, right? Diversifying trades. But Fox is the guy for your ray gun. Also, if you're a project, all your necessities for market making and volume are found there in the ray gun as well. Am I correct saying this, Fox? I think I am.
You are absolutely correct. We have a plethora of large variety of features available in the premium, which is copy trading of wallets, which is multi-spawning or that multi-creating of wallets. So you can buy with multiple, sell with multiple. You can use volume services. You can use market making across 9 chains. You can check the latest verified contracts that are released on all chains as well. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with us. You can check out new pairs that are live. You can manage your portfolio from currently 8 chains and soon 12, as you said, with XRP, Ton, Tron, and Sui earmarked for integration as some of the biggest upcoming chains at the moment. And also, we have other features planned in for version 3. This is version 2 and in beta, released to the public right now and available for you to create your referral code and just start trading. And we give away 50% of the referral fees, which is 100% more than our top competitor, Maestro, who gives away 25% of their referral fees in total. But we want to make this the most efficient, intuitive, and generous trading suite that you can utilize for trading and also for project management tools. And that means if you're a project and you use a referral code and get your community involved with trading competitions, you earn some of their trading fees, not just for when they're trading your chart, but also for when they're trading out there as well. So there are many ways to utilize this to bring revenue to everybody, but we will give it out hand over fist. And what that basically means is we're going to keep giving it back. And 1% of trading fees is not a lot, but oh yeah, I have a new collaboration announcement that I would like to release on this space. We will be integrating the Silent Swap multi-chain, trustless, anonymous, and compliant bridge into the bot. So that means you'll also be able to transfer your funds quickly and anonymously for a trustless system that then allows you to be able to transfer between the chains if you want to trade immediately, but also keep your movements anonymous. And there are still a lot of people in this space that stand by this. And I'm just going to say this because it's not been said enough recently. I am a member of the decentralized finance world for the original core values and morals of what this space was. This is anonymity. This is a place where we come and we can be the participants in our own future and each other's futures by being engaged with these projects, with this ecosystem, with this hub, with this. And I don't need to know your face to be able to work with you. I just need to hear the voice that is representing and whether I believe that you are going to actually come true to the goals that you present to me. And I will stay here forever after, and I will never release my personal information to the public, but I will stand by what I do, and I will stay here with this name, and I will keep building and innovating and creating no matter what. And that is why we build. That is why we created this tool to be the most efficient, intuitive, and also trustless, seamless place where you can manage all of your assets all in one place.
Yeah, so multiple things that are bullish around this, right? So it also has the market making and volume, but it works and is operational in so many chains. And so you don't need a separate bot for this and a separate bot for that and get it all twisted and confused, right? A one-stop shop for everything. Is so bullish, especially for the harder to reach chains like XRP. And we know that these things sometimes, things are being launched there. You want to be a part of, you don't even know how to get it. Hey, you're late. You're late. And so this can really help you out if you're integrated with that bot already. Also, this is passive income opportunity. I've been telling everybody last year when Raiden came out for Sui, and Sui got a lot of attention, and I was in a lot of big spaces for Sui at the time as well. Still kind of am if I'm invited. And so here's the deal. I had the Raiden X as a referral in my bio. If you do not have a link in your bio, I don't care how rich you are, passive income is always welcome, right? Side hustles. And so multiple streams, the more the better. And so I've been rocking that Rated X, and over months I built that 200-300 Sui worth every month. 200-300 Sui. If Sui does a 5x, that's $2,000 to $3,000 every month for Wild here, right? Just by referring people to it, having it in my bio. And so this is an opportunity. Look, you don't even need to own crypto, basically, right? You can sign up for this, refer people to it, and get 50% of the fees. Yeah. and build a bag this way. Yeah, Fox.
I think I need to break this down a bit more
Yeah,
because what we have is very complex.
yeah,
If you have referral fees for your friends and they're
yeah.
trading on all the
Mhm.
chains, like you're not just receiving like SUI, you could be receiving ETH from base, you could be receiving
Yes,
BNB, you could be
yes,
receiving Sol, you could be receiving
yes,
SUI, you could be
yes.
receiving XRP, you could be
Even more
receiving
bullish.
Tron, all of these
You're even more
altcoins.
diversified in that passive income. Now, of
Exactly.
course, it depends on how many people under you are going to trade. And so when Sui nosedives and the hype there is just not is lackluster, right? I'm earning a little bit less. So it would be more bullish if I also had some XRP, some BNB coming in, some wrapped Ethereum, or whatever we got going on there, right? Yes, Panda, respond.
Yeah, this is the similar thing to what I talk about. But whoever's under you trades, you get whatever they trade from the fee,
Yeah,
like a small
yeah,
cut.
yeah,
It's very bullish. It's very cool.
yeah.
Brian Benson also does it for his decks.
Yes.
Like, it's very cool.
So yeah, and then the bot from Dark Tech Matter gives you 50%. 50% of the fees goes towards you. So every transaction that people under you make, they have to pay a little bit of a fee, and 50% of that fee is going towards your bag, and wherever that bag's then being used from. So if somebody was trading on XRP, you then get it in XRP. If somebody was trading on BNB, you then get BNB, and so 8 chains right now and 12 in the near future. And so you can, yeah, I mean, opportunity there as well. And I've always said to people when we go to, I'm very analytical. And so when we go to on X and our behavior on X, and if we want to have supplemental income here, I see tons of people who want that but have nothing in their bio. Well, get this, the link in your bio has the highest click through rate, not in a post. That might even get you suspended from X, right? So a workaround with that would be making a post and then say what link in the first comment or link in bio, right? A call to action to go to your link in bio. And so it has the highest click-through rate. And so it has the most potential for you to either make sales or benefit in some other way from guiding people there. So if there's no link there that feeds you some bread, then it's a net zero for you. If there's nothing there, that's a net zero to begin with. That's a certainty. And so, but if you, let's say, have 100 clicks and let's say 10 people sign up, right? Now that's great. Now you're getting some bread, right? And with these things, you never know how much because it depends kind of on the volume that people are trading with under you. But I have two whales trading under me with Rated X on Sui, and these two make up 50% of my income. It's crazy right there, right? But yeah, let me get a referral link for this one and put that up in my bio. So that is just another way that we can earn. Also, another way that we can earn rewards is through AudioFi, right? And I'm gonna let Adam touch a little bit on that as well. Adam has been much too quiet, and I've been talking way too much. I need a drink. Let's go, Adam. Chill.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no worries.
Lurky.
Well,
Oh, I see Lurky is in the space with us as well. And that's exactly
yeah,
what we are going to touch upon.
yeah.
Let's go.
I don't know if Lurky. I think Lurky's in multiple spaces at once. So I'm not sure.
He's just trying to farm.
I did send him an invite, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think he's actually speaking in another space right this moment. But
He's there. He's with 6 devices, just farming.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
it's actually a good strategy.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's actually it works quite well. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean we're actually so I've actually been it's I've actually had a bit of time to run through the idea for how we're going to get Songjam DJ back, which is actually very important. So if you guys haven't heard already, and if you haven't even experienced the Songjam DJ, then this is obviously a regular, well, maybe not obviously, but this is a regular feature of this space. And sadly, X decided to take the nuclear action of suspending the Songjam DJ account, and they've actually also suspended Songjam. I was just checking; they've suspended Songjam DJ test, which is the test integration that we've got going with Lurky. So this is actually quite a bad thing. But what I've realized is that actually these accounts that we've built up, and we haven't even really built them up. These are just, I mean, and there's nothing special about the account. It's just an X account. Like anyone could roll their own. So what we're actually going to do is this is basically just forcing us to move into the uh, the allowing anyone to spin up their own DJ account, and this will also hook up with the autonomous voice agents that we're going to be rolling out pretty soon as well. So basically, and there's actually some cool stuff that we've been cooking around this already as well. And actually, I can't give too much away. This is where, like, you know, it would be like an alpha overload, I think, if I dropped exactly like how you're going to be able to access the new DJs and soundboards. But basically, my thing is like, I think that the accounts can kind of be throwaway. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's great if you can build up a little bit of a following with a brand account, but the main focus, and usually this is what I observe, is like the main focus is on like the actual host's account, and then there can be a space account, or it could be a personality that you create as well, which has the tooling behind it, and you're able to spin it. So you could have a wild, I mean, it could be like a What's the Ticker brand account that is the What's the Ticker DJ, right? Or you could have like, you know, however you want to do it. Like you could have your own wild AI account, or you could have, there could be a Tic account. So that is actually, it's within our reach. This is something we've been thinking of for a while, but this like X is kind of forcing our hand with this now. And I think it's going to make much more sense than, I'll still look into like lodging an appeal or whatever and like doing an inquiry. But I think it's kind of, it's almost like, what's the point in going after this? Like the Song Jam DJ had 500 followers, you know? It's not like it was
Bro,
it's not like, oh my
big-
God,
bigger
I've lost
fish to
this.
fry.
Sorry.
No, you're
Yeah,
right.
What's
bigger
that?
fish to fry, but
Yeah, it's
also
like so
for
crazy.
you might for
Yes. It's,
the token sang, you might want to just open the account for that, and so that is not then related to anything, right? So people like to
well,
see for a
exactly.
ticker, they like to see
We,
an account. Yeah.
we do actually, that is a good shout, because there's also the Song Jam agent, right, who should be like a voice agent and like a kind of a virtual KOL, which has always been my idea with that, and hence like going in virtuals, partly with the agent. But yeah, a Sang account is also a good shout. And then yeah, the thing is, that's the thing, we've got bigger fish to fry, because like, you know, I'm literally like, honestly, like I've, you know, I got the email from X, and it's like I'm in the middle of like dealing with some really, really exciting kind of institutional partnerships, and you know, just some really like crazy stuff that's coming up on the pipeline with you know, the adoption of this tooling, right, for the voice verification network itself, right, and getting real interest from, I mean, these are like, you know, this is like major financial institutions, and other, you know, other like, you know, parties, like even governments, right, that need this stuff. So it's like, it's definitely like, come on, you know, come on, X, like, are you really gonna give me this at this time? And do you think I'm really that worried about it? And but yeah, it's actually been in this space. I've just been thinking it through, like how we can actually do this and make it. Yeah, I mean, we can roll up. I mean, it's not, the cool thing will be everyone can have their own DJ, right? So we're kind of democratizing access to the DJ, and this is going to be, I mean, it's going to be a cool new product feature, right? So yeah, get involved. And the Fox, by the way, I meant to hit you up. Like we were discussing this already, right? So I connected with the Fox, and I need to know more about this system that you've got, and so I do need to get my hands on it and try it out. I think because I have been kind of tinkering with some of these bots lately. Because like actually our ecosystem fund is also, basically I'm just trying, I'm kind of putting the ecosystem fund to work, so largely to accumulate Sang, right? So I've been kind of working on like trading strategies for that, and I've just been testing things out right now. But it is, I can see that there could be a way to, I mean, it's like, you know, it's basically just having the Sang liquidity is very, it's very favorable to being able to kind of create opportunities to access more Sang, so when the market dips, I mean, there's lots of different things that can be done, and so understanding tooling like this would be super helpful. And actually, I do need. I mean, it's good to learn it by myself, but I've learned a lot just from hearing Wild talking about trading generally. So, and I think a lot of it is being patient and ready to make a move when the market moves in the direction that you want it to, right? So, but yeah, I'm super keen to know more about this.
To make the trade when you see it, right? So that's a little bit a correction there. Yeah, that you want
Oh,
it to
right,
go,
right,
no, where you see it
right.
go. Some people don't see the
Yeah,
shorts, some people only see the longs, right?
right,
And
right. Well,
vice versa, and everything in between. So it's when you see
I
it.
well,
Yeah.
well, I guess there's also you kind of feel like it's like not feeling like you have to do anything until you
Yes.
yeah until
Yeah.
until it's there, otherwise, because it's like you kind of feel
Less
like you
is
woke up
more.
and you're like, oh, I've got to do a trade. It's like, no, no,
Yeah.
no,
Less
actually,
is more. Yeah.
you don't. Just don't fucking
Yeah.
do anything,
Yeah.
bro. Just
Sometimes,
wait
sometimes
until
you're better
something's
off
happening.
not making
Yeah,
the trade because you're trying to then fit the chart into your narrative because you need to
yeah,
make a trade. And so you're going to project that on the chart and you're going to look for things that might not be there and then
yeah.
lose money. And so it would be a
No, no, no.
net positive, a net win if you wouldn't have traded. Yeah.
Yes, but it's very different from being productive in a normal kind in the sense of running
Yes.
a company or something, or
Yes.
running this project is I always have
Yeah.
to be productive, and I
Yeah.
always have to be doing there's never a moment where I'm not productive, right?
Right.
It has,
So
and
here,
it's I feel
here's
bad if
the
I'm not doing
here's the thing that I
it.
talk a lot with when I'm in actually in companies and I do conversational hypnosis. It's very much also centered around this because I always want them to gear more in that 80-20 rule. 20% of what you're doing should give you at all times 80% of the benefit, right, of the profits. And so this is the last time I was with Nvidia, right? So I got actually a big stock bag there now. That's great. I'm
That's
happy.
yep,
But
smart move.
yeah, it's great guys too. But that's how they work though. 80-20 all the time, right? And so this is that what you mentioned, that productivity are what's really productive then if we hold it against the scrutiny of the 80-20 rule. And then you might find that you're being overproductive in some areas, right? That might not how do you say warrant your presence there in
Right.
in
Yeah.
that manner. Yeah.
That's also
Yeah.
that's another thing to consider
Because
for
it's an
sure. Yeah.
illusion that we
Mm.
have this hustle culture and grind culture, but it's an illusion, really.
Yeah,
Because if you
I do
yeah,
tend to agree. Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's an
do tend to
illusion.
agree.
It's how they keep you busy and distracted, and so you become predictable because you're doing the same thing. So
Yeah,
other people can then really, by your behavior, repetitive pattern of behavior, can then determine the outcome basically based upon it, and then they can leverage that, right? And so, yeah, doing more is sometimes not correct. You should be doing more in the area where it gives you 80-20. That's what you should do, right? And then only 20. Don't go over, unless you can bump a double of the 80 there, and that's what we call optimize. So we start with doing little steps, and then we optimize, we tweak it, we come back to it, get the data in, and then we tweak it. And you do this with training when you're an athlete too as well, right? So I always thought that well, the way that it showed up for me in my career as an athlete was I was walking way too much, and I thought that that was a great thing to do because my coach told me all the time, you need to sleep more, you need to rest more. And I was like, rest more? Are you crazy? I need to do more. I constantly felt the need to be that productive, right? To do something towards the goal every minute of the freaking day. And at one point, my coach just said to me, hey, if you're not going to walk less than 10K steps a day and not going to sleep 2 hours more, wherever you do that in the night or add it to your daytime, I'm not going to coach you anymore because I know you're not going to make it.com. And I was like, oh, but I didn't believe that was working. But as soon as I stopped the walking and started sleeping more, I was lifting 30 pounds heavier within 6 weeks because I stopped doing that. And that's when it really sank into, okay, where in other areas of my life am I feeling the need? Because the need, the desire comes from lack. See, that's why you have to desire the wish, right? And then that hustle grind mode gets on because you don't have it, so you want to run as fast towards it as possible. But that's an illusion because the way towards it might actually not be that, and it might actually be detrimental to what you're trying to reach. Yeah, go ahead, Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found also echoing exactly what Wilder's saying. I found this so much. I never stop. I always go, and as you hear with my energy a lot of the time, like it's because I am just a force of nature. However, that can be inefficient sometimes if you're just running around, and especially with training as well. Like I didn't like I trained every day for 16 years, and it's only recently where I have tried these different like on off days, like train a couple of days, have 2 days off, or I trained one day this week, had a day off, trained yesterday, having to day off, go and train again to see about the muscle recovery time and what actually benefits me. But the amount of sleep is also really, really important, as well as getting all of your protein and as well as having a balanced diet and having
Yeah.
enough water and everything. Like, I haven't taken my creatine today. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, I need to take my creatine. Anyway, like besides this, it's really important to slow down, and I've struggled with that. And this illness really, really highlighted it for me as well. Like,
Yeah.
even when
And you're
you
going to
feel,
prolong it. So here's
yeah,
the key for everything. The success happens in the in between. And that's the messy part. And that's the part that we cannot stand somehow. And I know because I'm there right there with you. But success happens there. It's not at the end with the goal. When the goal is done, it becomes normal. That's it, normal. No more success. Success stops with the goal, ends there. Success is the middle part. That's where the success is being born and created a little bit more every day, momentum and then compounding to the goal. But here's the thing, we are not letting go enough in order for that success to fill that in, to let that come into these blanks in between. We see this in crypto all the time when we just circling it back to crypto. We see this all the time. There's the degens with Red Bull 24/7 with laser eyes at a freaking screen. How much are you really making compared to the people who just DCA for 4 years? Just toss money at it. Go sleep, do all the nice things that you
Hmm.
do in your life. Go to the gym, go to, you maybe have some work that you need to do, right? Do all that and spend time with friends and family, right? Not sitting in your crypto dungeon trying to make a fortune within a week. And these people actually create financial freedom, and the rest is just getting liquidated in per cycle, right?
Even with
A
a
1 2 days in the cycle.
even with a small percentage of their like monthly income,
And
for instance, like let's say like 1 or 2% of their monthly income, putting
mm,
that into the market over the course of 7 years adds up to be a lot.
yeah. So I'm not saying don't take any action. You need to take action, but it needs to be action that results in something,
Mm-hmm.
action, and then you let it cook, and then action when it's required again. It's just like, look, how can we, you when you plant a seed in your garden, have you ever done that? Maybe as a child, I don't know, for educational purposes. You put a seed in the ground. What happens if you dig that seed up every day to look at it?
Mm-hmm. It's not going to grow.
No, it required one action. You put it in the ground. Maybe you need to water it, but if you give it too much water every hour, let's say, what happens then? You kill it, right? Yeah, you dig it up to look at how far it's coming along. No, it has its time. An apple seed grows different than a pear seed. It all depends on what we're trying to get done here, what we're trying to resurrect into life here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What goal? And so everything has its appointed time. Nothing is the same here either. So there comes a moment where you're just gonna have to, okay, I'm gonna put that in the ground. I'm gonna require the action required is water. and maybe every day if it's summertime, depending, whatever, you got the alpha. And then do that and not more than that, because anything you do more there is against your goal instead of towards it. When you order food in a restaurant, are you a person that goes to the kitchen every 2 minutes to wonder where your food is at? No, you're sitting there. The action required for you to get food was to order it, and then you're gonna have a nice conversation with the person with you. You're gonna scroll a little bit on your phone, and then the food comes. Yeah, the odds of you getting your plate of food by going to the kitchen every other minute, you're gonna get kicked out of the restaurant hungry.
Hmm.
See? So you only do the action required, and then there is a waiting period. I don't know if you're ordering this dish, it might take half an hour. The other one maybe 10 minutes, whatever. Right? The action required was to go to the restaurant, look at the menu, and order. You do not need to step up to the kitchen in your hustle culture every minute to wonder where is it ready yet, you guys? This is gonna get you wrecked. Yeah, go ahead, Fox.
Yeah, also want to echo that. Like ADHD is a prime example of this, of just like returning to the thing and staring at it and hoping it's going to change instead of making calculated moves and knowing when you need to then pay attention for it to move. If
Yeah.
you're doing like something quick, launches, everything, like keep an eye, of course, de-risk, but also watch that thing and then take out your bread. But
Mhm.
also at the same time, when you're trying to do something, it's so easy to hyper focus or completely just go side-eyed because you're
Yeah.
doing that. And it's
Well,
more
look,
important.
this is the thing that we tend to do as humans, right? And so, but it's not actually, it goes against how your brain works. So you're polluting the attention of your brain by feeding it way too much. And that's because of that nervous system. You need to calm your ass down. People do this in relationships too, all the time too. They're fucking chasing. You need to app somebody fucking 10 times a day and they didn't answer you. And now you're going to sit there, obsess over it, and you're going to do more. You're going to send more text to get somebody to respond. How is this ever working out for you? Get a life. Just send the text. Go about your business. Make sure you have some business, right?
Yeah.
Go whenever you needed to get done. Maybe you get a text back, maybe not, but it's not going to kill you. The action required was just to send a text. Right? If nothing comes of it, wow, you were not married, were you? Right? Moving on, because you have a life. But people bring that hustle culture and grind there as well, that mindset. And it's because you're lacking something. You're lacking actually a life. That's why you're doing it. So there's always that behavior of lack that creates the need. And then when we feel that need, we feel like little hamsters just need to go into that wheel and then start running for it. This is
Yeah.
bullshit. That's not the way it works. That's an illusion. Your brain does not work that way. The the RAS part of your brain can only handle so much. Turn your notifications on. Start doing not 10 things, but do 3 things really well, right? If you cannot do 3 things really well, start doing by one thing really well. Go for the 80/20, because
Yeah.
trying to do these 10 things will get you zero. But doing that one thing well, that's 80/20. I that now 20% of something giving me 80% of gains. Boom, winning. Now that I know the road to it, I can now implement that in other areas as well. Maybe I can do 2 things really well a day. Right? Like reading a book. If you're having an attention span of a fruit fly, 15 minutes might be too much. Do 5 minutes, right? Bump that
This is
up.
why it's so important when you're having a bad day to still turn up and do these things. Because, as you said, that's the winning day. Those are the winning days, the mid ground days where it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like you're getting anywhere, but you're still
No, it's
turning up and doing
boring.
these things. But it's
No, no.
patterns that you
Having
create, which are positive.
success and winning is very boring because it's so boring. But if you call this boring, if you feel that people are not texting you back, or that your bag is not pumping fast enough, or that you're trying to set up this business, but the alpha is just not coming at the right time and the right moment for you, right? These are all indicative of you wanting drama. You're used to hustle. You're used to getting things, wanting things in excitement. That's what you're used to. That's what your nervous system is used to, and it seeks that out. That's you projecting outwards this way. It's not how the world works. And there's some psychological effects that causes this for us to we do this with people all the time, right? We have these we can hate people, but the moment that we're asking them, we need to ask the people that you don't like for a favor. After they did us the little favor, could be as tiny as, hey, can you pass me this coffee? Straight after, we're going to see them in a better light. It's an illusion because the person never changed, but we're going to behave differently towards the person. This is a psychological effect. Right? And so,
Yeah, it's the Benjamin Franklin
yeah,
effect. Yeah.
that's the Benjamin Franklin effect.
Hmm.
Exactly. So we're gonna respond, and but that person never changed. Could be the same asshole as always. It's just that, right? Now you're seeing it differently, and this is exactly these how it's just how the brain works. So it's not always required. Some things that you do believe that are needed are actually absolutely not needed, and you're shooting yourself in the foot, confirming past behavior, because we're all somehow doing things on repetition anyway. Adam left. Adam was like triggered.
And how many hours we got till Monad
I don't
launch?
know. I
Is
need to
it
go ahead
really?
and sleep. What is launching? Is something
Monad,
launching?
mainnet. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
the
in
mainnet is launching?
a
Yeah, I
few
didn't get the
hours.
airdrop so they can go kiss my ass.
I
I
think
was
we should.
doing all that work for nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck
Ow,
Mona.
cat keeps biting me. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. Hold
Portfolio
on.
is full too.
Oh, hold on. Wait. No, it was the announcement for the launch. That was
Oh,
oh, it was 18 days. I thought it was 18 hours.
oh,
Okay.
no, we
So
have some
November
time now.
24th. Damn, they're
That's fine.
freaking announcing it way ahead of time.
Where did Adam go? Adam's account is also rugged
Well, they
together with
are
Sandra.
in the future. It's November
That's
7th over
4
there.
a.m.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
well,
I hope
you know
nothing
what?
happens tomorrow. Just kidding.
We've been prolonging this space because it's been very interesting. The people we had on early, we talked about Bitcoin, mining of Bitcoin, and how much they took, right? And what we need to own to be a part of the elite 0.1 Bitcoin, right? In 2030. Yes, it's a thing. Also, we've been talking about some lifestyle stuff and how to, be younger, actually be more youthful. We were talking about NAC and glycine and also methylene blue in this regard as well. There was I love talking about that stuff because so much alpha for people who have symptoms with stuff, but can really alleviate these symptoms, with protein, certain types of protein, and NAC glycine is a great stack for reverse aging. It's true. It's proven. It's not snake oil talk here at all, right? It really, really does that. And it really helps with your energy level. So check that out. We've been talking about that a little bit. We had some shilling going on. Also, dark matter tech with the ray gun. The ray gun giving you 50% on referrals, right? 50% of those fees. So go ahead and pin it up above. Go into the Telegram there. And we've been talking about the ticker is sang. Want to play music in spaces? We need to bring that song then, DJ with Adam. Adam did a round trip. Well, the first time that Adam did a round trip and not you, Tick, I think we could put that in a
Ooh,
newspaper.
yes.
Moving up in the world.
We're moving up. Well, Adam has been taking the round trip course of Tick there.
That's
Tick
great.
has a round trip course, $27. It teaches you how to be a round tripper like a pro,
Yes.
in
In
and
and
out of
out.
spaces. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you everybody here for stopping by. We kind of had a not so big space today because the link that I had set out did not work, and so this is kind of the pop-up space. And then it's always a little bit lackluster, but I do appreciate everybody. Of course, we always have 6 live streams up, and so our viewers there, they remain the same. They don't care how many people are in here, right? They are watching us on the live stream. We are every day broadcasting on Retake, on Twitch, on Kick, on X, YouTube, and Pump Fun. And we're gonna try and do some more there. So we're gonna be the number one space that is just doing the most live streams, right? And Tick is my creative genius, taking care of all of that. So you guys, with that, we're gonna do it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the ticker? Yeah. What's the ticker? Where's it at? Yeah. What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fat. Got a runner on the map, Solana sniping like a cat. And the Soe is moving quickly. I'm the squeezing where they at. I'm trying to bring the Mimquins back. 1,000X is gonna land. I got each chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's a tick or where's it at?
Yeah, guys, we're back tomorrow on Saturday. It is pinned up on my profile. Thank you for stopping by. Tick?
Yes, yes. Thank you so
Anna?
much, fam. You guys stay bullish, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's go.
Let's go. Adam?
So Song Jam DJ may be gone for now, but we're going to be back better and bigger than ever. Believe.
Well, absolutely. Look, things happen for a reason. So you better come back bigger and better than before. And that goes for you guys in the audience too. Since your day today, make it one tomorrow then, right? It's not up only. Sometimes we do a little bit of a retrace. Sometimes we're like Bitcoin. All right, you guys. Catch you later.